requested to assemble and stand by in quarters for your structure. Fire Route 212 Lake Hill. Mountain Trapper, you're requested to assemble in quarters.
And welcome everyone to the League of Extraordinary podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you all very much for tuning in here for the League of Extraordinary podcast. Of course, we have all of our hosts here today, but I'll introduce myself, the host of Devious One Ivan C, with my other host, Mi Familia, the greatest faction of all time that not even the NWO has nothing on us because fuck, that's all I can say. But let me introduce, of course, my other host with the most, of course, and he's the host for the Wrestling DeLorean podcast, Mr. De Niro himself.
What's good? What's good? Glad to be on. You know what I mean? Working with new faces, old faces. Appreciate you.
Who you calling old?
Who you calling old right here?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. And of course, I have Mr. Universal himself because he is a Universal, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Nick, the editor for the Universal Wrestling Podcast. What's going on, my brother?
Nothing, man. That intro reminds me of Hollywood Rock is cooking. I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. This is going to be a good time. We haven't done this in a while, so cheers, boys.
That's right. And of course, I have Mr. D.O.M., the South Philly Psycho, the host of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, with the greatest, the League Award and PWI Instagram award of all time.
The worst Instagram handle ever.
Yes.
What's good, y'all?
Award is an award.
And that intro, fourth wall break, we were moshing before we got on camera.
Yeah.
Like, y'all didn't see it.
We were in New York City, then in space, then in California. I'm like, fuck yeah. What am I on?
Is that Krypton?
And also, of course, mi otro hermano, my brother, with the one, of course, it's the indies, the pros, is everywhere you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Ted Weston from Rewind
My boss.
Wrestling Radio Network. Yeah, he's
right,
not your
Tom.
boss.
That's right,
Yep,
Dom. Don't
yep.
ever forget it. Don't ever forget it.
As I said last night, he is the Cyrus to my Paul Heyman.
Tyrus.
I paid all the Dogelon coin for that show to join my network. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah.
It was like it turned into like 6 pesos that I paid for it, but we're all good, you know? Let's go.
Yeah.
And of course, I have to save my brother, my very brother dearly, best for last, because, ladies and gentlemen, you have to, and I'm going to let this speak for itself, you have to
Acknowledge me.
That's right.
Yes.
I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. That is
I
my
acknowledge him all
tribal
day.
chief of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. Devin from Park Street.
My shield brother. I will acknowledge
Throw that
that.
one up.
Yes. What up, Ivo? What's going on, man? The Professor X. Appreciate the invite. And shout out to my tag team partner, Hafiz, the Nigerian Nightmare, the Messiah of podcasting.
There you go.
Appreciate the invite.
Hell yeah.
Happy to be here. You know, just like the tribal chief, I show up for the big events. All right, so this is a big special event right
There
here.
you go.
Yes,
My
that is
man.
right. And happy Saturday to everyone who are
Yes.
watching or listening to. And happy Saturday to all my familia right here. Cheers
Happy
to all of
weekend,
you guys. Happy weekend, man.
Yeah.
And yes, we're here to discuss 3 certain topics today. One of them, which I'll let Ted go, but for the first one we'll do is just overall. Doesn't have to be one promotion, but overall. This is the last time we had a conversation, we gave our thoughts about current state. But now let's give our thoughts on the current state now as we speak, because this should be honestly for all of us, I think, and for everybody who's watching. This is the greatest time to be a pro wrestling fan. So I will go around the table here, asking the question, the thoughts of your current state of pro wrestling. So I will take it to Nick.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. It's all about, giving the fans what they want, and we have it. We have that alternative. It may not be doing great right now, but it's still producing good matches. It's still producing good segments. I'm excited for the pay-per-view. But just in general, I'm happy to be a wrestling fan. It's a great time. I mean, we've said it over and over and over again. It's an amazing time to be a wrestling fan. We all talk wrestling on podcasts, for this reason, just to talk about it. And, the future's bright. I'll say that.
Awesome. Awesome to hear. Mr. DON.
Wow, you jumping straight to me. I'm honored. All right, so the current state of pro wrestling overall is like chaotic but exciting as fuck. Because you have so much turnover. We're hopefully coming out of the injury bug, knock on wood. People coming back, Vince stepping down, Triple H in place. Now Tony's hired a bunch of minions to work with him creatively, and we still don't know where ROH is going to land, but there are so many new possibilities in just the last few weeks.
Yeah.
It blows the mind. Like, if you say WWE is going to work with this promotion, you might be right now. Whereas before, you thought there was, like Vince's music, no chance in hell.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's there yet, but it is exciting to see, the way things have changed and moved in a different direction for the two major promotions, at least.
Yeah.
Neither of which are there yet, but I'm definitely interested to see where they are going, and they are in their own way starting to improve, and that's something that I constantly get on, whether it's my show, this show, Ted's, Devin's, you name it, and say I will bash anybody. I'm not coming from a place of hate. I want this shit to be good, and damn it if it isn't starting to be. So yeah, it is exciting to be a wrestling fan, but
yeah,
I'm kind of always excited. Like, I'll find my reason. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Indeed. Ted, talk to me.
So, this is the first time in a long time that I have been interested enough to turn on wrestling, not on my DVR, and watch some shit live. Because we're at a point right now, kind of like we were in the Monday Night Wars, where you didn't know who was going to show up on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not waiting for pay-per-views or for like the Monday after Mania for dudes to be making comebacks. People are just showing up. Gargano's just showing up, right? It's great. It's awesome to see. It's got me reinvigorated as a fan a little bit. And the writing has gotten better, and there's little Easter egg things happening on WWE TV that are like making you pay attention and not like constantly getting up to go get another drink during the show. You're afraid you're going to miss something in the background, and that's what's been missing for me. I've been missing someone to go, nope, you need to watch if you want, and you need to pay attention while you're watching if you're going to catch it all. And I haven't had that in a long time, and I'm just super excited as a fan that that's back in my life.
Awesome. Great way to put it. Danilo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say what you guys already haven't said. I feel exactly the same way. Like, I haven't been this excited for wrestling in a long, long time, and I've been watching my whole life. So this is great to see. Like, it's more well-rounded now, where I always felt like when one promotion is doing good, the other one's like on a downhill. So it always feels like, oh, well, you know what? Raw's doing good, but, AEW is like on the downslide right now, or AEW is really exciting, but WWE is kind of the same old shit. Right now, it really feels like it's even in balance, and every day of the week there's something to watch, and it's intriguing. Like, even NXT 2.0 is amazing right now. So I'm really with everything, and on top of that, it goes for not just in the United States, but all over the world. Japan right now is killing it. New Japan just coming off of the G1 was amazing. You got the whole rumors of what's going to happen with the NXT Europe. I'm very excited for that. But for sure, all around the wrestling world, I'm very excited. The indies are hot right now. The indies are hot. Right now, I
Good.
think it was announced today that GCW sold out Japan. Like, they have a show in Japan and sold out in 45 minutes or some shit? Like
45 and a quarter, I think. No, I'm kidding.
Indies are hot right now.
Oh,
But,
fuck.
yeah,
Thank you, Nick.
overall right now, wrestling is really hot. I'm excited. I'm for it. I'm down to watch everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That
My tribal
FMW
chief.
crowd, man.
Best for last, right, Devin?
My tribal chief.
Don't put the pressure on me like that. That's how I love it.
One.
Just say it.
We did ones, man. We did ones.
Yeah, we the ones.
I'm not pluralizing it. He the one.
Here we go. We the ones. Good to be back, fellas. I'm really, really enjoying wrestling, especially WWE, especially from Papa H, bringing all these seasonings to this amazing stew. He's been just let it simmer and adding more to it as well. Like, oh man, you're making this taste even better. Yeah. You know, I'm enjoying a 3-hour Raw now under Papa H watch. It is decided. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? No, we don't need to go back to 2 hours. Keep it at 3 if this is what we're going to be getting, because he's filling time with more wrestling, which logically makes a lot of fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? But man, we got on the far side of more of the segments, and that can be a little boring and people
Entertainment.
Exactly, man. But Papa H, he's a student of the game. He understands. All right,
He is the
3
game.
hours. Right, no pun intended.
I was like, no, that pun was intended, bro.
Yeah.
That pun was intended as hell. Don't be saying that shit.
This dude is just doing amazing work, and it actually kind of rolls over into other wrestling promotions. I speak about Impact. I had an amazing time with my son and I at Impact Emergence, bro. It was bonkers, crazy, just finding, just rekindling that love again for Impact. Just watching amazing matches, watching my son react to the chaos that was going on between Honor No More and Bullet Club. He didn't know what the hell was happening. This is his first wrestling show. You know what I'm saying? And he was like a deer in headlights. I had to grab my son and let him know what was about to happen. It's about to go down, bro.
Table
You need to
spot.
move, son.
Yes.
Oh, man.
The women's wrestling was from Impact. You know, I just love what they do with the women's wrestling, man. And so, you know, overall, I'm just enjoying this good time of being a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I kind of look at it too as in like the Yankees. You know, they're doing so well right now. The WWE can look at it and say maybe they are the Yankees, and it breeds competition. It makes others, you know, do well, and it's just, you know, sometimes it, you know, you hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
you kind of
is
you got to
AEW
respect it.
You kind of
Is
need
AEW
him.
the Mets now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, Nick's over here alienating everyone that's not a New Yorker right this second. Like, he's over here telling everybody that's not a New Yorker to go away.
But do you know what I mean? Like when the greats, the dynasties are doing well, it's like, okay, that's cool. And it just it also makes AEW better too.
I agree.
Yankees?
They're expected to do well. They're expected to do well. They are, you know, what people think about. Like, if you ask anybody down the street who doesn't know wrestling per se, like us, say, hey, do you watch wrestling? Oh, that WWE stuff. Like, that's what's going to come out their mouth. So it's like they are expected to be.
The Yankees, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was just about to say, you may hate the Yankees or you may hate the Patriots, but at the same time, you kind of need them.
And you kind of respect them.
Yeah.
There's not those damn Astros.
Oh, that's right.
Fuck the Astros.
Dan, what's going on, Dan? You'll be coming in shortly, Dan. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for tuning in. I agree. As long as you didn't say
Courtney,
Boston, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
okay.
hate
As
the
long as you
Yankees.
say Celtics, or I hate the Yankees too, but it's what it is. But as long as it wasn't Boston Celtics or Boston Red Sox, I'm okay with that. But I agree with all of you guys 100%. There's really nothing much to add on. However, one thing I do want to add is we don't see rematches no more in WWE. On Raw, especially.
Thank God.
We don't see that no more, and that's what I love. That Triple H got rid of those rematches. Like,
Yeah, I
you
think
see
we
that
had the
every
first one
fucking
last
week.
night.
Only one. Wow, Ricochet.
Well, Vince wrote that last night.
Yeah. that was a year
I
ago.
wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest, Mikey. If it came out, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
That was after
Triple
Cena's
Triple
party.
H
He
has
had
a
a few
text
glasses.
message. Triple H has a text message this long. He's just like, "Damn, Dad, just leave me alone."
No, but what was fucked up is I told my boy who hasn't watched in a long time, "Yo, WWE's hot again. Check out SmackDown tonight." And then he was like, "Yeah, I ain't feeling it still." I'm like, "Shit, that was just the wrong show. Check out Raw."
Yeah.
We know we watched along with it. Remember, Mike?
It couldn't even hold my attention.
Like,
Like
what
Bruce
the
is
fuck
over
did we
here,
get
like
ourselves into.
MJF.
Yeah.
What? MJF? Like Bruce is over here, like tweaking out, thinking about AEW the whole time. My man can't even focus on the TV for more than 30 seconds.
Man. He was mad. We made him watch WWE instead of checking highlight clips.
Oh man. But it's awesome to be a fucking fan right now, man. Especially like you mentioned the Indies too, Nick. When you mentioned that, fuck, right now it's hot right now in California. It's getting hot. The East Coast is getting hot with it too. I mean,
Jersey just got a new organization.
Yeah,
there's a lot
There's
of
a
good.
lot, man. There's a lot of good shit. And
the House of Glory tomorrow. It fucking card is stacked.
House of Glory.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, that's right. You're going to House of Glory tomorrow.
Nice.
And I'm happy that one thing I'm happy of for you, Devin, especially my tribal chief, you took your son and you actually introduced him to pro wrestling, his first live event.
There you go.
And that's awesome what you did. And hey, I was looking for you, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was
that's a
looking
special moment right there.
looking for you. Like, where's Devin?
I ain't gonna lie, I was watching Emergence. I was like, "Where's Devin?"
I wish they brought the camera where PCO took that table bump.
Yeah.
But I saw when I watched it on TV. I'm like, oh, they just kept the camera like kind of just over there by the ringside. I'm like, I wish they came into the crowd.
Yeah. Which they should have, but that's
yeah.
That was
I'm
a
just
shitty table
critiquing.
bump.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, but he took it bad though, man. He took it bad.
PCO's a bad man. I love that
He really
man.
is.
He's been taking those
I
bumps
love
like
that
crazy.
man. We
I want to
had
be
him
like
on,
PCO when I grow up. Shit.
right? Like we had him on.
You're an adult, Dom.
Maybe like 2 years ago, we had PCO on, or maybe like a year and a half ago, we had PCO on.
Right.
And he was telling, like off camera, he was telling us all kinds of stuff about like the backstage stuff, and my man has lived through this wrestling industry, and I'll leave it like that. But I mean, that man, especially at his age, to be like he's like Grandpa Sting. He's out here still taking these bumps, and he's been at it a long time. I love that man.
It's like what's his face, Mike Jackson, that old guy.
Oh yeah, he walks the ropes and does like.
Yeah. Oh my god, he goes all around. Oh
Yep.
man. But all right, the second topic, I'm gonna let Ted take over in this one.
Ooh.
Because remember you brought it up on your channel. So now as you say, this is a question that should be asked for the league. So take it away. I'll put it here and you take it away. And you ask around who should go first and go last. Up to you. So the floor is yours, Ted.
The floor is mine. Old school or modern wrestling? So listen. First of all, thank you for watching my show enough to know that I said this is something that would be good for the league. I appreciate that excellence. So I'm gonna start this one with the head of the table, right? I'm gonna give them the world championship match first on the card. I'll pull an AEW. All right. So my thing is, it isn't necessarily old school versus modern. Is there too much flippy shit to make it a story? Right? So what I want to know from you guys as the panel is, what do you prefer to watch? Do you prefer to watch 8 matches in a row of all flippy shit on your TV in a card, or do you want to see that old school, that chain wrestling, that mat work, and you can have a match or two with spot after spot after spot, but it's only a match or two. I'm gonna go to the tribal chief first.
Of course, old school, man. The tribal chief. That's what he represents right there. You know, man, to my heart. Old school all the way. Slow the fuck down, okay? Tell a story. Talk shit to your opponent, okay? I don't mind the flippy shit, but when the shit don't make sense, I'm like, come on, man. This is a dance recital now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's all I see now. And I'm like, this is why sports entertainment pro wrestling is the same thing. All right, as AEW put a spotlight on there, and I'm like, oh, I figured it out. Cool, I get it. Pro wrestling, sports entertainment, same thing. But modern wrestling, I love it when you tell a story. I love it when you take your time. I love it when you take a body part and you're showing your facial expression, and you're really trying to tell it with showing that body language. Like, oh yeah, I'm really fucking up his arm. Or I'm really about to make this really hurt. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I prefer old school wrestling all the way, man. Tribal Chief from the day, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Nick, coming to you, brother.
Yes, I think it's necessary to have flippy shit. You know, what we saw back-to-back episodes with SmackDown, Ricochet. Kind of like that Rey Mysterio aspect back in the day. Get the crowd on their feet, get the crowd going. I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary for the technical, offense and defense. I think it's also necessary for the entertainment aspect. What? Soap opera, what? I mean, everything together, that's my kind of wrestling. And if it's old school or modern, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I really need one or the other. I think a little bit of both is what I like. It's that stew, right, Devin? Cooking.
You're right.
You add a little technical. You add a little comedy. You add a little,
But if you had to pick though, one or the other, which one? Which one you leaning on?
Well, I'm 31, so I'm gonna have to lean towards modern style. I don't really know what old school is. I know, from watching, back in the day those videos, but modern is, I guess, what I want. Is modern Attitude Era? Because that's what I grew up on.
Well, modern is like is you get 8 matches on a card, and they're all tag matches or 6-man tag matches, and you see high spot after high spot after high spot after high spot after.
But who's booking that? I don't know.
AEW.
I would disagree. So I'm still going to go with modern style. I just think it's more entertaining, and that's what I want. I want the storylines, like you said, Devin. I want the facial expressions. I want it all. So modern.
I'm gonna go to the devious one next because he's kicking back like he just got laid. He's like, oh, this is what I wanted.
Yes, this is what I wanted. Actually, now there's no ladies here, of course. So yes,
Courtney.
Courtney's in the chat.
Yeah. Courtney's in the chat. Meaning at home, but it's. I grew up with old school. I love storytelling, and storytelling comes majority from the ring. Mm-hmm. Besides the promos, but the ring is where it tells a story. It doesn't have. It can be a body slam. You're telling a story. But the entertaining part is you have the fans looking at you, that you're having them invested to boo you or cheer you. It's like watching a cartoon. Like, when you wake up every Saturday morning watching cartoons, seeing your heroes and villains, you're seeing that. It's a storytelling, and for me, old school has always been my repertoire because it tells a story. In modern wrestling, it's cool, of course. The flippity floppity, I love it sometimes, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's the same shit we see almost every week. And that gets boring. Mm-hmm. So what you really want is something that's storytelling. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm more invested on. And I feel that's what... I'm not saying AEW is missing that 100%, which in a way they kind of are. It's good. All I can say is they're like anybody, not just AEW, but overall, everybody books... They have great wrestling matches, great athleticism, but... Tell me the story about it. That's where it's missing. Give me the story of how we're getting to the modern wrestling. That's where modern wrestling, I believe, is missing nowadays. It's the storytelling, which is like the old school. That's why I prefer more old school, because of that reason. So, that's just me.
Mm-hmm. All right. De Niro.
I'm going old school. I mean, shit, even when I do the wrestling DeLorean, you can hear, even in the tone of my voice, like the excitement when I'm doing like these old school reviews, because like it just like everyone's saying here, you have more of a story being told in the ring, and it's also not just that, but like the psychology too. And that's why like I like the flippity flip shit, but not when it's like so much given at once, because you do take away from that psychology. Like you do take away from the setup to the moves and the working the body part. And even now, like when you are working the body part, like say someone's in like a figure four, they're already up doing a flip like 10 seconds later. So that takes away from the figure four. Like what is that actually doing if you're going to be able to get up and wrestle after that? Because it's like, aren't you supposed to be in pain? Like he's working your leg, but you don't see that anymore. Like I've been watching a lot of, old Bret Hart matches, and he would dissect the body part, and the wrestler that he was doing it to would sell it for the whole match. Even after the match, they'll be limping away. And it's like, that's what we are missing. Like everyone knows it's fake, but
Don't
at least
say that.
Don't say that. Don't say that word.
Not use the F word.
No, but I mean,
Fake.
but hear this out,
Not
right?
use the F word. It's
We
real
got a
big,
video
goddamn it.
transfer.
At
Mute
least
this man.
Don't say it.
No, but here's the thing, though. To my
You
point,
didn't
like
just say that.
at least when back in the day, you would be able to suspend your disbelief, right? You would be able to just sit back and enjoy it, and it would feel like realistic. You would get invested into it a lot more. Where now, when they're doing all these like choreographed spots, it's like that they're just setting up for the next thing. Or if they're all grouping around outside, someone's going to do a dive onto everybody. It's too predictable, and I feel like modern wrestling really like made it more muddled, where we had like blurring of the lines in the old school. I think we have to go back to that. We have to have the storytelling. We have to have the psychology, because once again, if these matches don't matter, then why watch? Like make it a story to be invested in.
Yeah.
That's why I fell in love with it. I didn't really fall in love with wrestling because of like the matches. I fell in love with the stories. I fell in love with the personalities, and I would just like to see that come back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we see a little of that too,
No, for sure. It's
like
not
Kofi,
missing.
the DB movement. Like we see bits and pieces of that. That
Yeah.
stew, you
Yeah.
got to cook it, Devin. Come on, some potatoes,
That's right. That's right.
Little
Psycho.
paprika.
Psycho,
I don't know
talk
if
to
I
me,
put that
brother.
in my stew, but
I mean, oh, it's good.
little pepper.
I kind of want
salt.
to echo what young
Gravy.
Anthony said here in the comments, where he says
He did hit it on the head there.
when it comes to modern and old school wrestling, they tell stories, but it's an issue of realism and how it's portrayed. And I could go back and forth, and I could say a lot of shit that everybody else said. I'm going to take this in a little bit of a different direction, because I argue with my own co-hosts about how I argue that pro wrestling and sports entertainment are the same, and they want to give me shit over it. And like Devin said, once AEW started with this shit, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to start arguing this one. How do you take modern and old school and separate them? Because how long Lucha Libre been around? Lucha Libre is flippy shit to the max, and it's older than me. That ain't old school.
I mean, even the Lucha Libre style
separate.
from like the 90s and from the 80s is a
Yeah.
lot different than Lucha Libre style today.
Yeah, it's way
It's
different now.
still Lucha.
Have you watched the Triple X Mania, whatever they call it, pay-per-view?
Triple Mania. They're
It's
fantastic.
bad.
Like,
Yes, I have.
go watch
It's
watch
bad.
El Santo versus Blue Demon and tell me that's the same as like El Vikingo or whatever, like doing his like 630s. You know what I mean? El Santo
I'm
wasn't
not
doing that
saying
shit.
it's exactly the same. I'm saying there was a ton
Yo,
of shit.
just come on.
A ton of shit that was flippy and floppy in Lucha Libre from the
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
And now we're
Yep.
sitting here saying, oh, they're bringing that in modern day. No, they're not. That shit's been around since before I was born, and I'm fucking old. So I find it
yeah.
hard to choose. I will say this. I don't want to watch any card that's 8 matches of any fucking thing if it's one thing.
It gets boring.
You need that stew that Devin was talking about. You
Yeah.
need that balance
Little
in the force.
entertainment.
You need a technical match. You need some flippy shit. You need some comedy. You need a little bit of everything in my eyes to have a good show. When you look at what Triple H is doing, you get a lot of that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm back to watching it live and enjoying the shit out of it. AEW was doing that until more recently, but when they were, I was watching. That's what I want. I don't really give a shit if it's old school. I don't give a shit if it's flippy.
I'm with you on that.
You can put any kind of connotation you want on it. If you got the right mix, I'm with you. Like Impact's been around 20 years. They mix flippy shit with technical wrestling, with great women's wrestling, with everything else, and they've done that from almost jump.
Yeah, a little bit of
That's
shitty
what
wrestling.
I'm into. That's why I've been watching Impact for 20 fucking years. I don't give a damn. I want it all. I'm like, you got any more of that wrestling, baby?
I need
Listen, there's two things that kind of weigh into this for me. I like flippy wrestling. I think everyone seems to think that I think that all flippy shit is bad. No, Dom, shut your mouth. I gave you your time. Okay. So I think people think that all flippy shit is wrong, and I think it's all bad. I don't think all flippy shit is bad. I like flippy wrestling. I just don't like getting doused in it like I just won the Super Bowl and my players are pouring Gatorade over my goddamn back. All right? It needs to make sense. I'm tired of watching 15 guys standing at the base of the ring waiting for someone to jump off the top rope to catch them.
No, that shit drives me nuts.
It drives me insane.
Enough with the fair catch. We got you.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like move, everybody move over 2 steps quick. You know, like
that ain't even flippy shit.
Stop.
30 seconds later.
Okay, so exactly.
Right, just
hold on.
Used to go to the everybody goes like this.
This guy's not used
Anytime,
to it.
Pop.
He's got to catch his balance. Hold on, let him get his balance before he falls off.
Yeah.
You know?
Today, today.
And I think that just comes down to an experience, you know?
Yeah, I agree. But here's the other part of it, right? So in my big boy world, where I'm not just a wrestling podcaster, I've worked a lot in theater, okay? And as a director of theater, and that's what wrestling is theater, right? I mean, if we're
to
being,
an extent, yeah.
you know, it's a 20 by 20 stage. No, it is a 20 by 20 stage with combat, you know, with stage combat. That's what wrestling is, okay? All right? So when you're staging something, when you're preparing something for an audience to watch, your goal is to not ever let them feel the transitions. Okay? You're not supposed to let them, you're supposed to take them on a journey where they don't realize that something is changing over here because you're over there. Okay? And that is what the modern era of everybody get your shit in so that everybody gets 100% shine and we're going to no-sell everything that happens in the ring has gotten us. Now we see every little thing happening because there's no selling happening. There's nothing for us to pay attention to. They're just popping up again. And they're doing it with things that are so grandiose, like a Spanish fly. Okay, or someone diving off of the top of a set, and then people are just popping right back up. There's no selling happening. So if there's no selling happening, how are we supposed to continue to pay attention to what just happened?
Word. Do you guys
if
remember
there's no selling happening, what actually finishes the match?
Do you guys
are you
remember
tell
when
me
the
that
pile driver
the
was
80th
dangerous?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me that the 80th super kick finally did it for the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
Like, stop.
And I think I would go back to it's an alternative, you know. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. Don't watch it, you know. Yeah. It is what it is. It's not going to be what you want, and if it isn't, you know, don't watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, honestly, it's tough. But I mean, the good thing is there's diversity in professional wrestling that anybody can. Like you mentioned, Nick, that it's your cup of tea, whatever you like to watch and what matches you like to see. And that's the beauty of it. It's like music. Like music is so diverse; it has different genres. It's the same with pro wrestling, you know. And that's one thing. I mean,
read my mind. Damn it.
Regardless of the age,
he does that often.
You know, regardless of the age, is what preference us and what we like.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of us, majority, you know, well, of course, we have age difference, but I know that we grew up listening to this, or like we grew up watching this. So I know, you know, we have the respect for it. But, you know, one thing we do have is it's depending on everybody. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I'm very open-minded for everything. I'm not close-minded for, hey, I don't like this. No, period. No, I'm open-minded to listen to it or to watch it or
Absolutely.
everything. And I think that's what pro wrestling brings to us fans, is it brings you that alternative, how you mentioned. That diversity is there. And at least we're mentioning us here that, hey, you know, this is what our cup of tea will be like. And I don't see nothing wrong with it. I mean, I love everybody's opinions, and I love everybody, you know, giving their thoughts all across around. Now I want to hear this gentleman's thoughts, so he's our guest for today. And that is, of course, Big Dan over here.
Fuck.
Damn.
Holy shit.
I'm out of here. See you
Look
guys.
at he's showing off the traps. Got to show off the traps.
Dan is in the building. We need to find a new building.
Damn, this is the wrong podcast. Wait, goodbye.
Yeah.
Hit the wrong link.
What's up, dude?
What's up, Dan?
What's going on?
Give us your take. We saw your comments. Go ahead. Give us your
Cooking
take.
the
I heard
stew with us.
everything.
You did hit it on that one comment about me. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
He's an addict.
I think the one thing that today's wrestling is missing, it's just like the old school wrestlers say, just give everything a few minutes when you're down to allow the crowd to take in everything that's happening instead of just jumping up and going to the next move. Give it a couple of seconds to simmer, let everybody take it in, and then go to the next move. Yeah, let it breathe. You don't have to rush into everything. And I feel like, just like a couple of you guys said, they want to get everything in so that they're getting all their moves in instead of just worrying about letting the crowd get into it and feel like that they're joining in the ride of the match and then putting on a 5-star match instead of just putting all these spots in. People are going to like it, but they're not going to understand what you're trying to tell them. And I feel like that's something missing in today's wrestling. Like, there are some good shit out there time to time that some of them, you have two great wrestlers that do tell a story, but then there's more so times when it doesn't happen. It's just, okay, we need to get our shit in so both of us look good and then get in, get out. And it's like, just take your time. You know, take your time. Like I like AEW, but I like everything. Like past year or two, like what's changed my perception has been watching a lot more of New Japan and how they can kind of mix both. They're able to mix both and get you riled in. At the time, I don't even know what they're saying when I watch it in Japanese, but I can see what I'm watching because they take their time. You got 20, 30 minutes. You do have high flying, but a lot of it's just them standing in the ring, chopping each other, going at it. Like, I could watch like a Yuji Nagata against Minoru Suzuki any day of the week because they're in like 20 minutes of them just standing there chopping each other, but you can feel what they're doing. They showcase the injuries that they have. They're not just, okay, I'm going up top rope, falling down, and coming back up. They're selling every single bit of the match. Yeah. And you have to be able to do it. Like, there's no way that you could, just like you said, you could take a power driver and then get up after like a minute. It's just not going to happen.
Ridiculous.
You got to be able to sell everything.
Okay, I want to. Okay, I am mad at that. I'll tell you who am I pissed off of that?
Let's
And
hear
that's
it.
fucking Hook. Why can you not sell a fucking big man's fucking power driver and you get up? Okay, that's too much.
That's what y'all like. That's y'all man's. That's y'all man's right there. The baby face assassin killer, whatever the fuck his name is, but that
Hook.
dude.
His dad used to do the same shit back in the day.
Okay, I know you ain't talking praising these models on SmackDown and shit.
They wrestle. I bet they wrestle better than Hook. They learn how to sell.
When?
We already seen Mansoor in T-Bar. We already seeing them. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Don't get mad.
All right.
I think it just goes back
They're very
to
good at looking
inexperience.
oily. Ooh.
You know?
Nah, that's water, Tom. God damn it.
Yeah.
That's them. That's their water.
Sure.
You leave them alone.
I think it goes.
Sure.
It comes down to
More
inexperience,
oil
and I don't.
than Michael Nakazawa. Shut the fuck up.
and I don't mean wrestlers. I don't mean Hook. I don't mean those guys. I mean, if we're talking specifics, and it sounds like we are without saying it, I think it's the producers. I think it's the backstage agents. I think it's that. I think when it comes to inexperience, I think it's that. Because I mean, Hook on WWE, woo!
Fuck though. You want
He's number one. I think it just comes down to that, and we go back to the stew. You know, you put a little salt, a little pepper, a little gravy.
Hey, that's true. Because you look at Seth Rollins, how he used to wrestle.
Yeah.
Flippy shit.
He hurt like
just-
8 million people.
Exactly.
But
And
look at
that's
AJ
one of the
Styles
safest
also.
wrestlers ever now. One of the top safest wrestlers, man. People trust him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Ask John Cena about that shit. I don't know.
Or Sting, or
John's nose
Finn
still ain't look
Balor,
right, bro.
or-
John's nose still don't look right.
Well, it ain't Seth's fault he couldn't see that knee.
I mean, but it's the same thing with AJ
Kill him.
Styles. Like, if you see AJ Styles in like 2002, bunch of high spots, right?
Yeah.
And now look at him. Like he still pulls it out, but when it makes sense, and he makes
Yep.
every
It's
high
that
spot
one
matter.
forearm now. That's
Very,
it.
very true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That is
Yeah.
one man I do respect because he does do that. He'll do it when it's necessary. How you mentioned, like if it's a high spot, he'll do that. Depending on
Yeah.
match, the
Yeah.
chemistry they have. So I
That's-
always
that's
think
what-
it's great, dude.
That's why I like to compare like Ospreay and Ricochet now, because I feel like Ricochet still does all those high spots, and Ospreay, he does them, but
Yeah.
he does less of them now. He's adding a lot more of the ground attack to him. He's gotten bigger, where Ricochet's still small. He's still the same height and weight that they both were like 5-10 years ago. Yeah, he hasn't changed. I feel
Will
like.
Ospreay rounded out his game something wicked.
More balance.
I
So
think
much complete wrestling.
Ricochet's grounded himself more than he did in Lucha Underground, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
well,
Yeah, because he didn't have to.
You know, like
He has
That
to.
guy's flying off the balcony. You didn't need
Yeah.
to ground yourself in Lucha Underground.
right. So I think that like I said, every card has room for it, right? Like,
Yes.
but what made? Let me ask this question.
Uh-oh.
What made the Lion Salt so popular?
That's rich.
Not everybody was doing it.
Not everybody was doing it.
That's
But I'm-
that's
What did you say? Lion
that's-
Tamer?
the Lion
Lion
Salt.
I can't hear.
Okay?
It's
How
the
much-
line.
It's
the
that
one-
Jericho didn't use it in every match.
That's
He
true.
didn't eat it in every single match. So when he did it, it was a spectacular thing.
Can we
'cause he
check that?
pulled it out.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
Fact
9
check
out of
that.
10.
He used it a lot, but it wasn't a finisher. It was like a setup to the submission.
It was his side
But he only,
effect.
but he did it,
Yeah.
but he did it a lot in WCW. Then he stopped doing it a lot in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Inexperience. There you go.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all, Nick. I agree with you 100%. Inexperience is
Yeah, because who's going to tell him not to do that, you know? I don't
Right.
want to see it every week, you know? Do it something, you know, differently. And that's what we get with AEW. What is it, 3 years?
Going
Yeah.
on 3 years.
Yeah, but here's
Yeah.
the thing: they've got Dean Malenko and Arn
Exactly.
Anderson
They
in
have
there
the
being
experience.
producers. You gotta tell
Yeah,
me
but
those
why
guys
aren't they-
aren't experienced?
Why aren't they with the WWE? It's, you know,
Because
for
Arn
a
was
good
letting-
reason.
Arn was letting Foxy get drunk and go out and work matches.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
I mean, I'm not gonna call a spade a spade.
And that's not
was that?
responsible. So you're going to
Yeah.
have him coach you guys? I don't think so. I wouldn't.
No, I would trust more Dean Malenko and Jerry Lynn than
Yeah.
Arn Anderson, to be honest with you. Jerry Lynn, of course.
I don't
he's
think Arn does anything now, really.
he's just more of a manager.
Polishes
Yeah.
the block.
So he is.
Yeah.
So he is.
What a
Collects a
fucking...
What the
check.
clock?
Ever since Cody left, man, his meal ticket.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
collects
Yeah,
that
that's
check.
true.
yeah.
now he doesn't even come out with his son.
Yeah.
Dark.
He's like, this is...
He just
This
sits in
is
the back and he
going
collects
nowhere.
the check and he keeps his mouth shut because he saw what happened to Tully. He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna be over here."
He comes out
I
more
go
in
to
the
Ring of
Indies.
Honor.
He comes out
going
more with
nowhere.
he comes out more Brock on the Indies than he does in AEW now.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on this last subject?
Nada.
Well, if you have another one, Ted, let us know because this is great.
I got
This
you,
is-
fan.
Yes. Now, let's get fucking into it right now. Everybody's been.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking talk about AEW, man, because this is where everything. We need to know.
We
what
can
the
actually
fuck-
say the name.
Yes. We can say that fucking
Shit's gonna
name
hit the
now.
fan.
No more disguised as modern.
Don't get mad at me if I'm just speaking.
No,
my
no.
opinion.
Oh,
Devin,
we're
I
used to
know
it now,
what-
Devin.
I have got your back, my tribal chief. I have your back.
We acknowledge you.
I am
all
your
right?
Jay Uso right now, brother.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
Let's
is.
fucking go!
Right. Yes, he is.
Let's.
Hi.
Hey, what up, buddy? I don't think you can hear us.
Oh,
he can't.
hey! Good thing, because
Yeah, you got TK cursing at
show,
you.
like,
Yeah, we
you
got
better
some
not
grown-up
bring
talk
your
going on.
kids. And
Hold on, you made that? Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
Nick just claimed he had a
Sometimes guys get
milkman's
lucky
baby.
somewhere,
That's
you know?
bullshit, man.
All right, before we get into
Aw,
AEW,
hello.
I want to. Hey, this is everybody's opinions, all right? Just like, hey, we got your back, Tribal Chief. But I'll clarify what this is.
Oi! No fighting. No fucking fighting. No fighting. No fucking fighting! Good. Get the fucking...
We shall see. We shall see.
Thank God the child didn't see that.
Yeah.
No.
thought he was
one of my
saying-
favorite scenes too, man.
Hell
One of my
yeah,
favorite
I
shows,
love
Peaky
it.
Blinders.
Great fucking
Oh
scene.
my god.
No
I-
farting.
I need to see the new season because it already came out, so I need to fucking see it. Oh man, I need to catch up. But yes,
Me too,
let's
bro.
talk about AEW, man. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot of debacle what's been going on this past week with the whole main event situation. I believe everybody on their platforms digress about what's going on, and still currently. Oh, Ted got his fucking notes ready for that one. I already get
Copious amounts
Oh,
of notes.
He's ready. He is ready to fucking digress.
Ready
Yes,
to
he is.
go.
He's ready. So, the biggest question that I have for all of you guys is, of course, two questions. One is, what is going to be the main event that you believe is going to happen, and should this be a concern for Tony Khan? Why do I say that? Because I'm not talking about people in attendance. I'm talking about buyouts, like how you mentioned earlier, Ted, about you're gonna give me something to invest my $50 to spend to watch, and this is where it's crucial, because we may see for the first time a downfall because now there's no main event. If there is a rematch, then that's where the whole why would I pay $50 for a rematch?
Mind you, this is their biggest show of the year.
Exactly.
Tony Khan already said All Out is their biggest show of the year.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and this is crucial. I mean, he can set up, like I said once again, he can set up the fucking venue. However, though, your major market is the international fans. Besides the U.S., internationally, the ones who want to buy, who are going to invest of paying $50 fucking to get your event. That's where it's the biggest crucial. Should he be concerned? So I'll take it to Nick on this one.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's starting to be cool to hate AEW. That's just my opinion. I'm excited for this. I'm going to buy it. I want to see Jungle Boy go one-on-one with Christian
Thank you, Nick.
Cage. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I think the build-up has been amazing. My boy, Ricky Starks, going one-on-one with Hobbs. I can't wait. I'm obsessed with Ricky. I think he's the real deal. I think he could be champion soon. But I do see where there is an issue. I mean, no main event. How many weeks away are we? Come on.
We're not even. One.
There should be build
We're
up
like
to.
one.
There should be a build up to the main event. I get it, but I kind of think there is. I think it was cool to see Punk lose. I think we wanted that. I think there's something there with Adam, with Paige, with Punk. I don't know. I'm excited to see. Maybe it's just because I'm a wrestling fan and I can't wait. I kind of want to see DB go one-on. Oh, Bryan Danielson, my bad. Going one-on-one with Chris Jericho. I think that's going to be cool. I don't know. I'm just excited. Maybe it's. I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't know.
You don't know. That's right.
And by the way,
Exactly.
none of us.
That's what makes it great.
Even though there are 7 people here, and we're all going to have varying levels of enthusiasm, nobody. I want to be very clear about this because some of my hate, my venom, seems to come off on people like I'm bashing their choices of liking wrestling. Nick, I applaud the shit out of you. If you want to be a fan of AEW and you're willing to pay the $50 for their pay-per-view, more power to you, brother. I'm happy for you. I'm happy you found something that entertains you, brother. Okay, I am there for it. I am there for that. Okay, I want to make sure I say that because I have a feeling I see Devin over there going, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Well, stop it, Tribal Chief.
We all know what he's gonna say. It's not just you, buddy. It's everybody. I just feel like it's cool to hate AEW right now. All the backstage, the rumors. It's like, who gives a fuck? I want to see wrestling. That's it.
All right, I love that. I love that answer. Oh yeah, DOM.
I mean, I'm with Nick with a lot of what he said. I'm excited for this show. There is stuff on the card that has been built. Like, some of it's overdue, whether it's, like Christian Cage and Jungle Boy. Mm-hmm. Saw that swerve coming for months. When it finally happened, it's like, all right, so we're going to get a fight now. No, we're going to get this instead. Okay, so we're going to get a fight now. Yes, we are. Okay, I'm here. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. I mean, that is a homegrown, beautifully built feud going into a match. Especially after last Wednesday with
that
Ricky
promo.
Just going off in the middle of the ring.
Was beautiful.
Like, that promo was fire. Oh, I'm with you, Ricky. I hope you kick his ass. I know he's big, but I hope you kick his ass.
Yeah.
And then there's little stuff that, like, they didn't really plan for it. They didn't really build it. But when you say the Motor City Machine Guns are going to be at the pay-per-view, I'm excited. When these type of things pop up, I'm excited. My biggest concerns are the lack of the main title matches. Because right now you've got the Fatal 4-Way for the women's title because of whatever happened.
It's the interim women's championship, Dom. Get it fucking right.
I ain't called Mox. I ain't called Mox any of that bullshit. I ain't gonna call them. So you can save that.
Bullshit.
The Matrix. What the fuck?
It's like saying those three on WWE are doing their best elite impression, but I'm not gonna go there.
That sounds
Anywho.
Yeah. Tell I hate.
If you're not great, it's been getting hate. Yeah. Tribal Chief. He always gets hate from Dom. I appreciate that. In the way you acknowledge him, so, hey.
If you ain't elite, repeat. If you ain't elite, repeat.
There you go, my man.
Come with me with that bullshit. Anywho. And then this stuff with Punk, like, going into this match this week, I had said, what if we do, I had said the Friday prior, what if we didn't get a finish to this match? What if, like, after all the Hangman bullshit, he comes out, gets the match thrown out, and we end up with maybe the three of them in a title match at All Out? Because Hangman didn't get his rematch, Punk's just come back, Mox, and the unification still needs to happen, so do it all at once. Instead, we got this, and I'm like, if you're going to do a rematch, how the fuck do you follow the rematch up after what you just did? Because that don't make no sense. CM Punk he broke every bone in his foot from the looks of it. You want to talk about selling? He would look back, hopping off, holding on to people with that sad puppy dog face at the end. That is not, I'll be here in 8 days. That is, I'm done, y'all. The only thing that I could think right now is to get a big splash going into the pay-per-view, get the buys, is you have a surprise opponent for Moxley. And the biggest surprise opponent that I'm sure everybody would want to see right now is the one, the only, the man that Bruce is obsessed with and probably has an altar of in his basement.
It's a shrine
Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. He and Mox have history. That man should have beaten him for a championship, but I'm not just saying that because Bruce isn't here. He said if Mox hits this move, he loses his title. He hit the move behind the referee's back. He got the win.
Yeah.
Bringing MJF back for this will get fans pumped. Will get people buying. You could say, if that's what you want to say, would make it worth spending $50 on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because 5 months of the cock is better. Oh,
it is.
It is better.
It isn't.
I can watch all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It isn't.
It is.
If you watch 5 months of the cock, you wait.
Enjoy.
If you watch 5 months of the cock at $9.99 a month, you waste a month of that waiting for their commercials to end.
Except it's $4.99 a month.
So I
get
free
10 months of it.
It's free for me too, and I barely watch it.
And my wife gets to watch Love Island. So
there you go.
And
I'm just like to talk about watching cocks. I mean, let's go here. You know,
she watches The Office.
I'm not a fan of watching cocks.
I watch it.
If y'all want to spend $50 on a cock, do you? I'm gonna be over here watching it all out.
I think it is like $10.
It's $10
if you're not a
if you're not a subscriber.
$5 with the ads, $10 ads.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
see, that makes
$10.
sense. I haven't seen an ad in years.
Oh, well, I get it for free, so I thought it was $10 for people who weren't on the network to begin with.
No,
because that's how they explained it to me in the original email, and then I realized I had it already as a part of my cable plan, and I was like, really? I didn't even notice. I guess I'll make an account. I had that shit for a year and didn't watch.
Yeah, there wasn't much on it other than WWE.
Once they went there, I was like, I guess I gotta watch it, but up to that point, no fucks.
De Niro.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with what they're going to do in the main event. I'm definitely going to be watching it, so I'll pay my $50. But I'm just questioning, why did they go this route? I think that the big money match was CM Punk versus Jon Moxley, and having that in CM Punk's hometown in Chicago would have been the big money match and the way to go, especially for your biggest show of the year. So to have it 2 weeks beforehand and then have it finish the way it finished, and now there's so much unknown, you know, it didn't make sense to me, but it does have me intrigued to see how it is going to play out. I do like the idea of MJF being the opponent. Like I said on my show, I thought that it would be a great storyline if they played off of the rumors that CM Punk is not happy with AEW. In my opinion, if, you know, MJF is the opponent, you can have Jon Moxley come out, issue an open challenge, because if you just have a mystery opponent, it wouldn't make sense for it to be MJF. Why would he be rewarded a title shot after leaving the company, right? It would have to be an open challenge for him to answer. You have him answer the open challenge, have CM Punk turn heel by helping MJF win the title. And then it could be like, listen, you know, we have our differences. We never saw eye to eye, but you hate this company. I hate this company. Let's burn it down. Now you have a storyline that's really intriguing and I'm invested in. You could have Hangman and Jon Moxley versus CM Punk and MJF, and that would be a big money matchup. But I just don't know if they're going to go that route.
Where the fuck is Hangman in all this? Like, Punk's talk shit about him. Mox unified the titles. I was just waiting for Hangman to come out and do one of these. You know,
he's looking for more butterfly denim. I don't know.
Is he having trouble? Is he having trouble getting the bull horns back on his Tesla? What the fuck is going on?
Well, apparently, when they were doing that segment with Punk, he was in the back doing DT, hyping up the Dark Order. They had a guy come open the door. They're like, "Oh, you watching the segment?" He goes, "Shut up! I'm helping them out. Shut up! Close the door." And he keeps hyping up the Dark Order. He's supposed to be the guy that's trying to get them ready.
That much I get. I'm just saying the following week.
I guess they're playing off, but then it's like, what are they going to do with him at All Out? Is he?
Well, I feel like at All Out he's going to be more. In my opinion, I think it's going to come down to the Elite versus the Dark Order in the finals of the tournament, and then it's Hangman. Who does he ally himself with? Is he with the Dark Order, or does he want to go back to the Elite? Because you had that. Yeah, you had that like little segment of the Young Bucks wanting him to be in the trios with them.
Yeah,
but
bring back the Young Bucks.
Yeah, but you know, he's like, I'm riding with the Dark Order, so when they meet in the finals, it's going to, you know, be who's Hangman with.
And then 10 is hurt still. Like that's why they took his thing off and they made it a question mark, because he was actually legitimately hurt. And then he got cleared, but it looks like they're trying to sell the fact that he's still hurt because he was
his knee, right?
Just had Hangman had a spot problem.
So it makes me think that maybe next week they win.
You think so?
But he gets hurt, and then they replace 10 with the Hangman for the finals, and then I feel like Adam Cole and Red Dragon are gonna cost them the titles at All Out.
I totally agree. I think that that's exactly what they're going to be doing, but I just think that they should have struck with the iron was hot. Like, if you have Hangman Page being called out by CM Punk and it's all over the wrestling world and all that, then fuck it, go call an audible and have Hangman like insert himself in this matchup. I feel like that's the problem with AEW. They stick to the plan instead of causing like they don't call no audibles. They stick to their plan no matter what. Like they're going to be gun-ho with their idea. Where it's like here, imagine how much excitement you would have if Hangman came out on Wednesday and called out CM Punk. Like, hey, you want to talk coward shit? Like, I'm here in the ring now. Let's go. The crowd would go crazy, but they wouldn't do that because, he's already written into another story.
Yeah.
Now,
Like,
what would you
all that-
think? What would you think would be better though? Him going into that match knowing he's going to lose, no matter what, or going helping Dark Order and help them win the trios titles at All Out. What do you think would be better?
I think right now, just for like my intrigue, having Hangman mix it up with CM Punk. I hear there's real heat. Shit, I want to see what happens if they're back in the ring with each other.
Yeah,
I would rather that see Hangman and the Bucks and Kenny again. Like we saw all that for like 2 years. You know what I mean? The whole story with Kenny and Hangman was a whole 2-year arc. So to go right back to that as soon as Kenny comes back, it's like I'm not really excited for that.
And he should feel like a bigger star for after that payoff too. It sucks.
Yeah, he definitely should feel like one of the top guys, and he doesn't.
Absolutely.
That's no disrespect. I'm a big Hangman fan, but like,
to be honest.
And you know what? I even pulled up the rankings on the DeLorean on Friday, yesterday. I was like, if you want to go off rankings, he's number 1. But I mean, hey,
rankings matter.
I mean, rankings matter, Kevin.
I guess
rankings matter.
They matter sometimes.
When they want to.
Kevin. Don't act like WWE didn't.
When the stories are aligned, then yeah, okay.
They matter. I just remember the SmackDown rankings, so they tried it.
Right. And the AEW should have learned from that. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
There we go.
That shit didn't even work in SmackDown versus Raw like 2010 on PS2, bro. Like, come on now.
That game.
My tribal chief. Take it away.
All right, I'm about to be very candid, very blunt.
That's why we love you.
Be very
sucks. I said this on my podcast. AEW sucks. Tony Khan doesn't care about women's wrestling. It's very disgusting now. I just had a bad taste in my mouth from this last week's show. Not last week, this past week on Dynamite. And what? Thunder Rosa gets 30 seconds to explain that she has to take some time off and they're going to make another pretend championship. And it feels like they're just devaluing her just her title reign, her championship. I'm like, what are we doing? No strong storylines. Jade is relegated to Rampage now. I'm like, she's a star. Okay, if Thunder's not ready to go, let's just pivot to Jade. Let's put the focus on her, and we're not doing that. All right, so just for that, just for Tony Khan just totally disregards women's wrestling, you're not getting my $50, sir. Hell no. You're done getting my 50. You're not getting my 15 off the VPN, bro. No. Can you get that? I might catch it later. Like, hey, did you watch All Out? Well, I'll catch it later. All right.
Borrow your VPN then.
It's just the excitement. It's gone. A month ago, I was very excited for this pay-per-view. The storyline seemed like, they was on point. You had Jungle Boy, you had Christian, and then slowly it just kind of fell off. The only one consistent storyline that kind of stayed strong was Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. But that's it. They already blew their load on CM Punk and John Moxley. I'm like, well, there we go. What's my investment? There go my excitement. I'm not even excited for the pay-per-view now. So whatever. I'm going to be watching Worlds Collide, and that's it. That's my evening for wrestling on Sunday. I'm done, man. Ted, you take it over, bro.
Listen, brother. Listen. He's not even giving it back to the host. He's just sending it straight to me because he knows I'm here to testify.
Jade, I'm with Devin.
You're his right-hand man. You're the right-hand
I
man.
am. I'm right here. I'm right here. So listen.
You're the Waldorf to his Statler.
Listen, I'm cool if I sound like a cranky old man right now because I'm about to speak some facts, all right? So listen, the only thing that was holding my attention in AEW in 2021 was MJF, okay? MJF was the only thing because he always came out there and drew interest to himself. He changed himself when he needed to in order to remain interesting. Jericho has tried to do it, but really I just keep seeing the same Jerichos that I saw on WWE TV for 10 years, and they're just being given slightly new variations, and hey, we're calling it the AEW Jericho. I will say this point blank, okay? You look at the match card. You got Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. You've got the Fatal 4-Way between the women with Toni Storm and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida. You've got Jungle Boy and Christian Cage. You've got the Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. You've got Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. You've got FTR and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. Okay? I didn't mention a match right now that's going to be bad. There's not a single match that I just said that's going to be bad. Okay? None of it's going to be bad. All right? And then on top of that, you got these trios championships. TK's over here like Oprah Winfrey. And you get a championship, and you get a championship. Oh, and you can't keep your championship? You get a championship too. And when they come back, they can just fight you for it. You get a championship. TK's over here trying to be Oprah. All right? So you got the trios championship coming up. And listen, cool. It is what it is. People have been clamoring for it. They're saying, okay, we hear you and we're giving it to you. All right, I get it. But I don't think that the tournament's been all that great. It's just been about a bunch of spot fests. Again, there's no story to a lot of these matches that are happening. And then if we get Mox versus CM Punk, listen, I am wholeheartedly okay with the way that match went on Dynamite. Okay, there's a lot of hate on Twitter for it. Oh, you buried Punk. Everything is awful. Okay, that match was freaking perfect. Mox came in there and destroyed him. You legitimized your world champion. It was great. It was fantastic. But now, if you go and give CM Punk another championship, why the hell do you have rankings?
Okay, that.
Why do you have rankings?
If you're going to give him a rematch, why didn't you give Hangman one already? Why did it take Jericho 2 years to get one? Punk's going to get one after like snapping his leg. What the fuck is that?
AEW did announce when they first came out like there was going to be no automatic rematch clauses for champions. So I don't know why CM Punk would get another title.
Right, but what I'm saying is if Punk is going to get one, then why do we have the rankings?
We don't know.
No, exactly. I agree with that.
You know, so listen, the matches are going to be fire. There's no doubt about that. The wrestling will be good. The problem is that the wrestling is good every Wednesday on Dynamite too. There's nothing special here to make me want to spend an extra $50.
Mm.
Hey yo, what the fuck? Oh, and by the way, Dom. By the way, Dom, here's my $50 for you, bro. Right up in your face. All right.
I hope you know you just did that on Ivan.
Not on me.
I called you by name, brother. I called you by name.
Yeah, but you went straight to Ivan with that shit.
All right, Dan, I want to hear yours. Go talk to us.
There's a lot that I feel like is wrong with it. Granted, I'm still going to watch it, but I feel like there's a lot of things that it's to the point where I'm just like, okay, let me get to All Out, watch it. Just like he said, it's probably going to have good matches, but then I'll hit the reset button afterwards, and hopefully they will figure shit out after All Out because they've had a bunch of injuries. I know the original plan was Statlander to get the title match against Rosa, and then she's out 6 to 8 months, so that kind of killed all that. And then I know there's been a couple of other injuries that have kind of affected the card, but it's like you're not getting any of the long-term storytelling in a lot of the matches. You're getting it for the trios titles tournament. You're getting that. You've actually had a lot of like storylines that have driven off of that tournament just in itself, like with the Dark Order, with the Elite. You have Cole and Red Dragon being hurt, but they're kind of entangled with the Elite. You have Miro with the House of Black that he came out and cost them the match. You got a little bit of everything there. One of the most intriguing matches I'm actually looking forward to is Kip Sabian against Pac. I'm actually looking forward to that because they've actually have done like a long-term storytelling with that, with how every Pac defense that he's had over in the UK and Canada, you've had Kip Sabian pop up at each and every one with the box on his head, kind of just stalking him, and then he showed up on Dynamite and actually cost them the match, essentially, and put himself in the line for the All-Atlantic Championship. So I'm actually very intrigued to see if they put the title on him in his return back to wrestling. But then one big gripe that I have is this fucking ladder match. You got this fucking ladder match. You don't explain anything with it. who the fuck is in this shit? And it's a week away. You don't even know. Like the last one they did, at least they had like 6 weeks of prepping for it. When
qualifier matches too,
yeah, they had qualifying matches, the whole 9.
They announced this shit on the internet, didn't even announce it on TV, and you don't even know who the fuck is in it. And it makes me think the only way I'd be intrigued with it is if you get a lot of wrestlers that aren't known, and then you actually put somebody over and actually like grow them with the company. But I feel like they're just gonna put like Ethan Page or somebody in there that needs to be in a match. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hangman pops up in it and have them win it just to lose to Wardlow, because I feel like it'll be for the TNT title. Mm-hmm. One thing I do like is the fact that somebody said that they feel like Wardlow not defending the TNT title is a good thing, because you want that to be defended only on Dynamite, because it's the TNT championship. Yeah, it should be defended every week in the main event. I'd be okay with the first match as long as it's defended every week. But they've gone away from it. But at least he's in a good match, like a 3-on-3 match, even though they've kind of ruined that by having it just random with the machine guns. Even though I like them as a tag team, and I feel like it's gonna make for a great match. I'm just stuck on the fact that a lot of these matches are short term and not long term build. I feel like with the CM Punk thing, I feel like they're going with the aspect of the plane that he's hurt. They're gonna have it look like you don't know who's going to face him. Punk's going to come out Wednesday in Chicago. He's going to be like, I'm ready. Let me have this match. Like, I can get through the injury. He's going to wind up wrestling him, and then he's going to turn heel, low blow him, do whatever he can to win the match. And he's going to turn heel to take the title, and then that's when you're going to have MJF come back as a face. Not necessarily like a good guy, but like a bad guy that you're going to want to root for. Because you know, because how people are.
He already is.
CM Punk, yeah.
Yeah.
Why
like
would
the guy
CM Punk,
that cut that promo?
Why would CM Punk be granted another title shot though? He lost clean.
Well, that's a great.
Well, because he came out and asked, "Hey, let me get another one." Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's got me.
I waited 7 years for this championship.
The rankings matter. The rankings matter.
Where do you go with
ranked
this
right
main
now?
event?
Preach, Tribal Chief, preach.
Like, where do you go with this world title match at All Out? I'm so interested to see what the hell happens on Dynamite after what the hell happened last week. Because if you give Punk that match, it's like, what fucking for?
Yeah, Punk doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Literally.
Literally. But it's like, I don't know. Like, if he loses clean, then why would he get a shot 8 days later?
Is he going to come out and cut the proverbial "I wasn't ready" promo?
He got his ass whooped. He just didn't lose clean. He got his ass.
He got ass whooped.
They started out with a clean double tie-up. It was
You
got knocked the fuck out.
No, he knocked himself the fuck out with his own plant foot.
You can't say I'm not ready when you start.
That, it was
like John Moxley attacked him from
forearm
behind.
exchanges. They were both down, and then the next thing you know, Punk's holding his leg, and you're like, what the fuck?
Like, I'm not ready.
The wrong leg. The wrong fucking leg he was holding.
No, it was the plant foot.
No, it's the plant leg. So listen,
that makes a lot of sense with the plant leg.
I was gonna say, I brought this up last night. Teddy Teddy was Karate Man long before Ethan Page even tried to pull that shit, and he knows better than anybody. The plant foot it takes more pressure than any kind of kick you're gonna throw. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. The torque that happens on the planted leg is significantly more impactful on your body than the impact of the kick happening. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So the sell job was correct.
And Bobby Fish made fun of it. He posted an IG of him doing the kick. And he's like, this is how you're supposed to do it.
Yes. Love it. I love it. Like I said, for me...
This is why Punk lost in the UFC, by the way, bro.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts. I'm not disagreeing there.
I thought I was watching UFC on Wednesday.
This is where Tony Khan should now have a structure, because if this is your somewhat big event, it might fail because of this. Because there's no structure, there's no plan B. That's one thing that WWE has that I don't think no other promotion has. When one card fails for an injury, anything, they know where to do a plan B. They have a plan B, C, D, and E. They know how to do that. This is where AEW do not have that. This is where You need to learn how to structure in case shit goes wrong. Okay, my main event guy's out. I need to figure out who I'm going to get. And this is where I got upset this past week on Circle Debate. I said, you're telling me that if Moxley gets the rematch with CM Punk and he loses, you're telling me that his title relevance will only be good for a week and not the whole time when he won it, which it shouldn't be an interim. It should have been him being the actual champion. That's fucking ridiculous. That's where I get upset. Because you're literally diminishing your guy who actually is representing your company and you're calling him an intern. Like, that's fucking bullshit.
This is twice when he put the company on his back and ran with it. During the pandemic, and then during all the injuries, he put the company on his back.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take a guy who legitimized his title reign and then came on after and gave you, like, the John Cena remix. You're going to have him drop the belt to the same guy 10 days later?
Yeah. Just because this is fucking Punk's hometown. I'm sorry. I mean, like, who gives a shit?
I mean, again.
Who gives a shit? It's just that there should have been a plan B when it came to the situation. When Punk got hurt in the beginning, he should have relinquished that belt completely, no interim, have Moxley, and shit. It could have been Hangman in the main event or MJF. I don't care. That would have been
great. To your point, the proof is in the pudding. Look at WWE with the women's tag tournament. Every time they turned around, an NXT team was injured. And did they just say, we don't know what the fuck to do, we're just going to throw some shit together? No. It was like, they're out. Okay, Toxic Attraction's in. Oh, shit, they're hurt. All right, we're going to do this instead. It was like that.
This is when you have a fan that's booking. You know, this is Tony. He's just a fan. He's not a businessman. He doesn't have a structure. Actually, within his first year of building his company, he should have had a structure built. He should have had one coming in. Shit, Vince gave you the blueprint. He was like, a guy, he was like, he was saying before, like 2004, 2005, he was saying basically, you know, my role should be done with like 2 to 3 people. But I'm doing this role though because I can do it. But in reality, it should be done by 2 to 3 people. And I'm like, hell yeah, and you see that right now in the updated WWE. You see that company being run structured with 3 people at the head of the table.
Absolutely. Can we be real?
Even when he was doing it, he had Pat Patterson at the time telling him, that's a good idea, that's a bad idea. You had a guy, he's not necessarily there, but he's telling him what he's doing is good or bad, whereas Tony doesn't have that right now.
But in this day and age, right now, Tony needs to be more Papa H and less Vince.
Yeah. That's why he watches the product. He admittedly says he watches.
He brought in people, and he ain't listening to any of them.
Yeah, he's a fan first. But see, here's the thing, though. When he first started AEW, you had Kenny Omega and the Bucks and Cody. You know, they had something going in the beginning. Unfortunately, you had egos collide because you're full of egos. That's why he took over as head of creative and everything else. Right. But right now, you have the knowledge from other people that are there. Like I said, William Regal's #1. He was the #2 guy for Triple H. He was a scouter. His right hand.
But I mean, he just added like Pat Buck and QT and all these people to his creative team, and that creative team works under him like the WWE creative team worked under Vince.
Yeah,
and it was.
But see, those are producers of matches. So what I'm talking about is storytelling. Regal knows how to do that. Regal learned that from Triple H. That's why I said I will argue
he'll be coming back to Papa H. Really, he'll pop up. Yeah,
and it's funny how De Niro said it on Circle Debate. He said it that the one he probably reached out was Regal. Maybe he reached out to him.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, is it Keith Lee, Adam Cole?" I think it was Regal because that was Triple H's right hand man. So I would have reached out to Regal too.
Yes, sir.
I would have too.
Hell yeah!
I don't know why.
Like fuck what Tony talking about, bro. You talking to me?
Yeah.
Right. You know I'll work with you.
That's something that AEW could do, that they could bring back, that WWE's not doing now, that could work for them and could solve some of the problem. Bring back the 30-day title defense rule, where you have to defend it within 30 days. If you don't, you're stripped of the title. It relieves some of the blow with the booking, and at least gives you somewhere to go where, okay, this guy's out for longer than 30 days. Okay, strip him. Now we got to find a new
gives you that freedom.
And it takes away this problem that they're having now. But the whole.
But they're not going to do that. They'd like to be similar to MMA. Yeah. The MMA. Like, they're a parody of MMA, actually. Like they like to have the rankings, you know, they prize fighter.
They're trying to beat
every
MMA,
quarterly pay-per-view.
Well, the other thing is that people are getting hurt so much because of the type of work that they're doing, right? Like they, you know what, we all love the creative freedom that they get in their matches because it's it has the opportunity to be more entertaining for us at times, right? Some of the stuff they're able to do in their matches is able to get us to drop our jaws a little bit more sometimes than what you get on the WWE product. But the WWE product was developed this way so that these guys could be wrestling 300 days a year and not get hurt as much, right? So what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot more people getting hurt in AEW and having to have these interim champions because these people are getting hurt so much. So even if you have the 30-day rule, though, I think you're still going to run into this problem because you're just going to end up every 2 months having to have some kind of tournament for a championship.
I feel like this is where a second show would help.
That would still be better than saying.
Oh, it's still definitely better. It's still definitely better.
Another belt, like. To be honest, what is the point of giving them creative freedom in their matches if you don't have creative freedom in your booking? Like, oh, this happened, we have to immediately go back to this. Like, this guy got hurt, we have to immediately crown an interim champion. This girl got hurt, we have to crown an interim champion. If you're able to strip someone, have a tournament for it, and have somebody maybe come back and get a chance to get their title back after the fact, that's something that we have not seen from them because we keep getting the same fucking thing over and over and over. If you have so much freedom in ring, how come they don't have the freedom to book you?
The problem is that
communication with TK.
That too. That's a major factor.
On it.
The other thing too is that he allowed it since he fucking hired your talents. Hey, do as you please. However, make sure that keep it in this certain time, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, cool. I know that Tony Khan worries about the ratings because, hey, this is his actual TV platform, national network, that he's more concerned of to be re-signed because instead of more of anything else, that's why he allows the creative freedom, creative wrestling matches because he's more
that
concerned
much
about
I get.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you realize, oh, shit, they're going to do another interim championship match.
Yeah.
Click. That fucks up your ratings, too.
Yeah. And this is why he needs to have a plan B. You need to have those.
If you're going to be free, but don't be free with restrictions on the other side. That don't make any fucking sense.
Agreed. I'm not disagreeing there. It's just like, for me, I think we're going to see for the first time, Tony Khan, like I said, once again, I'm not talking about attendance. I think buyouts are not going to be the same how it was last year or the last event. I will not be surprised if this buyout pay-per-view, it's not going to be one of the, oh my God, we have the greatest buyouts of all. How he always says in his post-conference. I don't think this is going to happen. I think so.
Which is a shame because All Out last year, in my opinion, was the greatest AEW show ever.
It was.
So, now a year later, it's like, what are we doing?
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on? Like I said, unless he announces, he makes a move coming this Wednesday. That's why I'll give him credit for what credit's due. They got us invested. Okay, now, like, this happened. What? So now you
have to capitalize.
Yeah, they're capitalizing on that. I'll give them that credit though, but still, you have to worry about your main event for the pay-per-view because there's still, hey, who's gonna want to pay $50 for it? Like that's where you need to sell that. You gotta sell it. If he better sells it Wednesday. If he does not, then that's a major problem that we're gonna see. And I'm hoping that this should be a lesson learned for him. And like, hey, you know what? I learned about my downfall. Now I need to learn how to fucking learn how to do a structure or have plan B, C's, and D's.
But I hope he does. Unless this was the plan all along.
He always says that shit. I still feel that's bullshit. I still feel like that's bullshit.
Tony is the king of I meant to do that. It doesn't mean he did. It just that's what he's going to say. I meant to do that. I knew ROH was going to do record numbers. No, you didn't.
I don't think the international sales for the buyouts would change because they actually get it at a discounted price. They don't pay $50 like us.
No, that's true. So, yeah, they don't.
I can see it.
Also, so.
U.S. sales.
International fan.
If we was compare that,
is it worth $15?
Not to me though. Shit, I'm not going to be worth paying $15. But I'm just saying, year to date, I would like to look at that for All Out 2022 year to date. So look at last year U.S. sales compared to this year, and see if there is a major drop off.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm going to look into that too. Once The whole ones after the aftermath, I want to see what's the difference. I'm curious, and I will literally go back to his Tony Khan's Twitter to see, okay, what was last year's?
It's even interesting to me because to the people that say, "Oh, AEW should have a pay-per-view every month," well, considering Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, All Out, they practically have. So now if the buy rates start going down, maybe you were full of shit in the first place.
I mean, they have a pay-per-view every Dynamite. Every Dynamite has a damn name.
Quick at the lake. Quick at the lake.
I'm telling you, I was waiting for the week after it was going to be fries that cross your eyes, brought to you by McDonald's.
I got the cross your eyes. I got the shake that make you quake.
You quake. I got the burgers that I just got these burgers.
I mean, like
devious psychos, y'all.
Oh yeah. And it's like, and another thing too that I digress about is that how you mentioned then too, and about the storytelling, the plots, the feuds. This was really short term. Did I remember? Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys correct me if I'm wrong. It took him almost 6 weeks to do the build up. Within 6 weeks for the pay per view to set up the matches. Right here, it took 2 fucking weeks or less just to this is the announcement.
For some of them, you got to give credit where credit's due.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a refreshing memory.
For some, it was necessary. Because like Brian wasn't around.
Brian, what's going on?
Speaking of Brian, hey, what's happening, homie? But like Dragon wasn't around, Punk wasn't around, then Thunder Rosa's gone. Like this is all stuff that you have to.
Omega wasn't around.
Omega just came back, and this is all stuff that you have to adapt to. And we all said it, like that's not exactly something that Tony's very good at. But it can't be helped where you can't build something for 6 weeks because you don't have this person for 6 weeks.
Yeah, who is good at doing that? Shit happens. Building pay-per-view when you have injuries.
Papa H is good at it. See the tag tournament.
Oh yeah.
This is different though,
I don't want to see Natty.
You had a lot of guys out.
Come on.
It seemed like a personal problem.
She's gone already. You ain't even paying attention.
But you also had Adam Cole out, Red Dragon out. I feel like
there's more injuries. It's more difficult.
I feel like they were supposed to be part of that trios thing, and I felt like maybe they probably would have won it. And then when he got hurt at Forbidden Door,
well, even before that.
I mean, but he got hurt, and he's been out basically ever since then for the past 2 months.
Yeah, but that's
and they had to make a statement, so they brought Cole out, but it's too late to put him in a championship match.
And he might not even be ready at this point.
Exactly.
Not ready yet,
Because
he got his bell rung hard.
The thing about it, he didn't get partially.
And
he
it
got
comes
hurt,
back
but at
to
the same
inexperience.
At the same time, Cole made a shoulder injury worse in that match, along with the concussion. So that was the bigger issue.
Kid in the cat needs to wrestle.
Proving my point right now, Nick, because you asking the right questions, and that's what Tony's thinking.
Yeah.
Sure.
You mentioned that about trios. Let me ask you guys this question, and I'm very curious. The FTR situation about you booking FTR and Wardlow, a TNT champion, and FTR, who was the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. I don't think New Japan will allow it to be defended on AEW's platform. I think they'll allow it more in New Japan Strong. But my question is that I'm hearing around the IWC is, okay, you're bringing another tag team from a different company, and why you're not using your own tag team in AEW? Is that how do you guys feel about Motor City Machine Gun to be added? And should there even be a trios fucking match? Should Wardlow defend it?
At first, I thought you were talking about Aussie Open for a second, or the Empire. I was like, wait, okay, Motor City Machine, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm okay with it just because it's that old Vince thing. It's an attraction. And if you go, if you've been a fan as long as I have, you know that like Jay and Sanjay and Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley have a ton of fucking history, so it's not exactly random.
That was Team USA in 06 for the World X Cup.
Exactly.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Awesome.
Cheers to that.
To boot, it's not like they even have. They're not in they're not in the running for the trios titles. This is just a trios match.
But why have a
And
trios match on
the
card
other
that already
side?
has a trios tournament match.
But on the other side, you're kind of putting the Pinnacle back together because they have a history too. So it's like, hey, Jay saying, "I'm gonna go get my homies," and then Wardlow like, "Well, I got mine. Let's fight."
Yeah.
That's the story.
I mean, listen, I agree with that to a point. And listen, I'm by no means disappointed that the Motor City Machine Guns are getting this opportunity.
I've been a fan of them.
The Motor
forever.
City Machine Guns are one of the best tag teams in the world. I don't care who you're looking at, where you're looking at. You could put them up against almost anybody, and they're better than them. Okay,
They've been like that for almost 2
and
decades.
they know it.
Exactly. They've been that way for almost 20 years. Okay. But what I will say is that this was an opportunity for you to find 2 people on your roster who haven't been getting the time that they need and the airtime that they need to get over, and instead you're pulling people in that are already over in another company, hoping that it will get people to buy your pay-per-view. And you shouldn't have to hope that people are going to buy your pay-per-view if you've booked your people correctly. You know, and not every match feels that way in this on this pay-per-view. I think Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy, I think that's going to be an amazing payoff. I'm excited for it. Right? I'm not $50 excited for it, but I'm excited for it. Right? I think Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, that's going to be a great payoff match.
That better not be in a pre-fucking show. I'm saying that right now. It better
I don't
not
think
be
it will.
No,
it better not.
No,
Right?
Not their story.
That might be the opening match, though.
It might be.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And that
fine
would be
with that.
okay,
Unless
because
it's
if you're
kinda
not
like, well,
last,
what's-
you want to be first. But
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, if you look at the rest of these matches, it's like, okay, Swerve and Our Glory has the tag team championships. Who are they gonna face? Oh, the Acclaimed aren't doing shit this week. All right, cool. Let's do it. It'll be a great match. Let's forget that the Ass Boys are in a feud with these guys right now. We're just gonna throw them in the tag match for the championships. It's cool.
But they roundabouted it on Dynamite because you had Swerve and Our Glory save them. Then you had the promo where the Acclaim, basically said we're the best homegrown tag team in this company, and at this point they're not wrong.
They're not.
And so now we're leading into, and then we led it into this. Was it quickly built? Yeah, but it was kind of built nicely when you think about it.
They used the rankings.
And they used the rankings.
Stop.
The rankings mattered.
Devin, the rankings mattered, Devin.
See the story?
In this
They used the
case-
rankings. I see.
In this case, the rankings and the story were like that.
But that
like
Wardlow and FTR,
this.
that match is not bad, but the stipulation, the stakes should be high. Winner takes all. It should be like that.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't mind
NXT
that.
did something similar to that. I think it was Bronson Reed and MSK against, what was it, Legato?
I believe it was Legato, yeah.
Yeah. And I loved it. It was 6-man, but it was like winner takes all. I'm like, bet.
I miss MSK.
I think they didn't they do something like that with Imperium and the Undisputed Era when they had all the gold?
Yeah, the same thing. When they had the North
I think
American
they did a winner take all 6-man,
winner
but I
take
can't
all.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
I don't
that
know if
if they did that, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I said that. I said that on this Thursday. I said they should. That's the case. Add that stipulation. Put the Ring of Honor tag team titles.
Maybe they will. This Wednesday because we have yet to even see the Machine Guns. We saw their entrance video on Dynamite, so maybe they'll come out. Maybe we'll end up finding out.
came
That,
out of
I don't think we should have a trios match, though. I honestly don't think that we should have a trios match because you're going to have the finals to the trios titles tournament. What makes that special if on the card you have another trios match? It should have just been FTR versus Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal versus Wardlow. Because now the trios title tournament doesn't seem as special because there's other trio matches on the show too.
But the problem with that is they just did Lethal versus Wardlow, like you said, at Battle of
All right,
Three.
but
Thank you,
also, I mean, all right, then you book something else. Then fuck it. Like Wardlow doesn't have to be in the match.
Hey, let's look at the rankings. We gotta look at the
Here's
rankings.
the thing, though.
Right?
They're bringing in the Machine Guns because Sanjay Dutt can't wrestle, or it would be him, Satnam Singh, and Jay versus
He does
the
the
three
favorite.
of them.
I don't want to see that
go-
guy.
Why can't he
that,
wrestle? He was.
you know,
Is he injured or
Sad.
retired?
To me, they had
It's too many injuries. Like,
they had a
Because
perfect
I used to love
shot at
Sanjay in the
home.
ring. Sanjay was the man.
Yeah.
oh, I
thought
know
they
he
had a
was the
perfect-
man,
He
but
was
the last
sprinkling around
time,
the rope.
the only thing you've seen of him with AEW is him in a suit throwing a pencil at
Yeah.
people while
Yeah.
standing in the corner.
I
Like,
thought that was weird.
He can't go anymore.
I feel like they had a
So?
perfect shot at bringing in and showcasing that new ROH tag team that was with Tully Blanchard. What's their name?
Oh yeah.
What's her name? And they came in and they
Yeah.
did
Love
a
those
thing.
guys.
Promotion.
Khan,
Shane.
Khan and
Oh yeah, it's,
No, not
yeah.
them. It was those two. What was it?
I forgot the
Samoan
name. Yeah.
wrestlers.
I know it's
Yeah.
Tio Leona.
You could have brought them
Khan
in.
is it?
Leone
his name Khan or
and
something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Khan?
The
Khan,
Carver
yes.
women.
Khan.
I think it is Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could have brought them in.
They're all
had them
related
tag
somehow.
team. They had them tag team with Jay Lethal in the match. You could have built up a thing with them and FTR for the ROH titles. It could have been a built up thing that you could have set up here.
They better announce a Ring of Honor show soon. Because I'm getting tired of the Ring of Honor titles on AEW. Announce that Ring of Honor show soon.
They did say
catching dust. This shit is catching dust.
Why the hell?
Yeah.
Why the hell do you need AEW trios titles when you already have ROH trios titles and you ain't doing shit with them? Like you just named another
He's
group.
a fan.
Dalton and the boys, the trios champs, and you have not seen them since. And now you're bringing in more trios titles. Why not use? Winner gets a shot at them.
we need
He said
Oprah.
it. He's
Give
a
me a
fan.
cutscene of Oprah handing out some shit right
You
now.
know what? You know what?
I'm a
it is?
fan.
You
Why
know
not?
what? I'm about to send that in the group. I got y'all.
Hell, hey, I would love that. Hey, send it in the group. Hey, I would love. I wish Tony Khan could call Oprah. Hey, I need you to come by and get some titles for me. I would love to see that.
Look under your chairs. You get a
Oh
title.
my God! Look under your chair. Now we get a title, and you get a title. Oh my God! That's gonna be so fucking
About to
hilarious.
send it to you, Ivo.
All right,
Got
brother,
you.
man. Any
Do
final
that.
thoughts of this all-out
Yes.
debacle?
Tony Khan is a fan.
That's
There
right.
you go.
That's Nick's man's. That's his man's right there.
For
tag
better
team is
or
there.
worse, Tony Khan is a fan.
He's a fan, and so is Triple
Tag
H,
team
and
is
so
called
is Stephanie,
Beat the
and so
Vacuum.
is Nick Khan.
There you go. And now the last one I want to get into because we have to, because this is the biggest one for Triple H. Castle. His first pay-per-view. I'm not counting SummerSlam. He added here and there, right? He added bringing back Steel Sky, bringing back Dakota Kai. He added whatever he had to do, but he kept the same storylines that Vince left before Vince left the door, before he retired. But now this is Triple H's baby. Now is his first pay-per-view, Clash at the Castle. Triple H is in charge now, and everything what he's done has been fantastic so far. And I want to digress, and I'm happy because two things: we're seeing pro wrestling back in WWE, not only just entertainment but pro wrestling too. Because who would ever thought that you will book the IC title with Gunther and Sheamus?
That's gonna be a banger.
I had to do it.
Yes,
I had to do it.
That's what I want to see.
I love it.
So you're saying that defending the title at a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Yes,
just
it's
in
crazy.
general.
Yeah,
Finally.
that too.
Finally, yes,
He's a fan.
yes,
Give me what I want.
that's
They
right.
finally
They
did.
need to redesign some of those titles, though. I ain't gonna lie.
That's
The
right.
IC
They
title's
gotta
ugly as fuck.
bring
They
the
need
old
to
school
jump
back. I don't
that
want
IC
no-
No,
title
man,
and
fuck
bring
the
back
IC. The
White
tag
Belt.
team. Tag team first.
Oh, yeah,
I want
yeah,
the tag
yeah.
team redesigned ASAP. That's the first
Oh, that
thing.
too.
I'm
The
with
Trojan
you.
condom titles.
I'm with you. And then
Trojan.
the other one, who I'm happy to see that how it's supposed to be booked, is Shayna Baszler, because that's one individual when Vince did not do anything with her at all.
Yep.
Triple H, once he came and took over, he booked her how she's supposed to be, like how she was in NXT. This is a Shayna that we've been wanting to see in the main roster, and I'm fucking loving it right now. And I feel that this is going to be a great success for Triple H on this pay-per-view because it got me that I don't watch 3 hours of Raw. Now I'm watching it because I'm excited of what he's doing. Adding all these fucking eggs, like Easter eggs. I'm fucking loving it right now. I'm again becoming a pro wrestling fan of WWE. So round the table. So I'll go. What are you? I want to get your thoughts. What are your expectations for Clash at the Castle? And do you feel it's going to be like a success? I'll take it to the man himself, Mr. Ted. Talk to me.
All right, so listen, I sat here and I've been super critical of the way that All Out's been put together. I'm gonna sit here and be critical of how Clash of the Castle's been put together a little bit.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I like Dom said at the top of the show, and he and I talked about this on Top Rope last night. I am not here to complain about AEW because I'm an AEW hater. I'm here to complain about the shit that irks me about wrestling because I want it all to be good. Okay.
Amen.
So here's my thing. I think that the builds that we've gotten so far for Clash at the Castle have been good, right? Some people complain, some people complain about Liv Morgan having a belt on her right
just
now.
me.
It's
I'm not even the worst one.
Bruce
Right?
is the worst one.
He is the worst one. But at the end of the day, I'm interested to see how Shayna Baszler takes that championship off of her and gets her first women's championship. I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not they will finally take the belt off of Roman because it's the first big event in a stadium seating overseas.
Watch your words. I'm telling you right now, watch your words.
That's why I said if. I said if.
Carefully, Ted.
I said if.
Coming Brock.
I said if.
Don't get him pissed because he will get close to the camera. He'll be looking at you like yes.
I'm interested to see if that would happen because of the fact that McIntyre will be hailed as the hometown hero, even though he's not really the hometown hero here, right? I'm a little bit perturbed because from what I understand, we're supposed to get Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle on Raw on Monday, but he's also advertised for the card for Clash at the Castle, so that'll be another rematch. Like, why am I getting the rematch on the pay-per-view when it should be the other way around? That irks my soul a little bit. It really does. It also irks my soul that there's no tag team championship anything happening here. I'm excited about the Intercontinental Championship being on the pay-per-view, but you've done such a great job with building both the IC and the U.S. Championships back up, and there's no mention of the U.S. Championship. So I'm a little bit perturbed in that I feel like some things are going to get thrown together on Raw and SmackDown this week. The same way that I'm perturbed about it in AEW, I'm perturbed that it's going to probably happen on WWE programming this week. The stuff that's already being built, I'm excited for. But I don't think it's enough to fill the card.
Okay.
So now it's like there's going to be some shit they're just going to throw together, and we're supposed to be like, oh, yay, the card's full now. No, stop it.
What's the card? The card is only 5, so you don't think we're not going to get that, just a solid 5 matches what Papa H usually give us for TakeOver? Just 5, no more, no less, that's it.
We're going to
You
get
just
the
read
US
my
title
mind,
match.
man.
I think we're going to get a four-way for the U.S. title. Because we
think
see
we're gonna get
Ciampa and The
anything.
Miz and AJ involved with Lashley for like the last couple weeks.
And if
Probably
that if that happens, I'm cool with it because there's history there,
Yeah.
and there
And it
has
makes
been a
sense.
build to it, and it's just a late booking.
yeah.
But
Honestly,
Because all four
you
men
know,
been linked for like the last couple
last
weeks.
minute,
Yeah.
it would. I would think it would be Johnny in Theory.
That
Because
could be
Theory just
too.
came back and kicked Theory in the fucking face. I mean, there's your quick build, and then we're gonna put them on the card too. But I think otherwise it's set up, and like Devin said, we're gonna have like, Takeover Cardiff, but it ain't NXT UK.
Right.
Agreed.
So that's where I'm at with it. I'm excited for what's already booked, but I'm afraid we're gonna get a bunch of filler stuff. And maybe that's just like me being conditioned by the WWE for the last 10 years, because that's how shit happens. We're going to get an announcement on Twitter that 4 more matches have been booked for the pay-per-view. Who knows, but that's that's where I'm at this point. I'm excited to see the outcome of some of these matches that are booked, but I'm afraid that we're going to get a bunch of filler shit just thrown on the table because WWE.
Okay. Nick, give us your thoughts.
Yes, I think the WWE did what they do best. They promote. They promoted this. They catered to the audience. They understood who they need to promote to, who is buying tickets. Let's make sure that Drew looks strong. Let's make sure that Drew is going to maybe seem like he's going to win. He ain't going to win. Roman Reigns is going to win, and Roman Reigns, excuse me. Roman Reigns is going to win. Yeah.
I need another beer. I need another beer for that.
Yes.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers, they do what they do best, and I think it's going to be an exciting pay-per-view. I think everything that, just because of what just happened, what just transpired with the WWE, I think we're all looking into what's going to happen next. Unfortunately, the Usos can't make it, right? DUI. So I don't think that's why they're there, or at least one of them.
That makes sense. You're right about that. Forgot about that.
I didn't even think about that,
Yeah. So that's why there's no tag team champion.
They have trouble getting into Canada.
Yeah.
That's true. I totally forgot about that.
So Roman Reigns is going to win it all.
Woman
wins. Woman wins. Oh my God.
Hi, Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. No, but I just. I'm just honestly excited for this pay-per-view. I think this is going to be one of the biggest ones of the year, and it's just going to be entertaining from the first match to the last match. I mean, just everything about it. Just the build-up alone. So yeah, Reigns is going to win.
Yeah.
Definitely. DOM. Talk to me, baby.
I'm sorry, I almost killed myself for a minute because after I said Wesley Wabbit, I pictured Drew McIntyre in the big ass hat with a shotgun going, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting Wallman. Ha! But no, seriously, I like the card. And I get where Teddy's coming from, being like, preconditioned with WWE for filler and that type of thing. But Trips had a little bit of an impact on SummerSlam. If you remember last year's to this year's, it went by in a flash in comparison. Last year's SummerSlam had so much filler. I was sitting there dying on the couch, like, get this shit over with already. I'm sick of Tiffany Haddish. I don't need any more drip sticks. Just get the fucking match out of the way and let me go to bed. This year's SummerSlam, on the other hand, seemed like by the time it was over, I was like, that's it? And it was wild. And I think we're going to get a little bit of that in Cardiff at Clash of Castle, probably more. As I said, I'm extremely excited because I know we praised, Raw and Bobby Lashley and putting respect back on the U.S. title on top rope. Having Gunther with the belt, putting Sheamus in this position, and having the title back on a pay-per-view is putting so much more respect back on that title, which it desperately needed.
Yes.
Desperately.
Thank you for saying that. Yes.
If the Usos can't defend the tag titles on account of, traveling,
3 DUIs,
or because they've been carrying SmackDown while their cousin sits at home, let them. Let them chill. Because without the Usos, you don't have a SmackDown. You don't have a build to a title match.
What's going on, Nick?
The one thing that tripped me out watching SmackDown Friday, when they played the video for Drew, it was the exact same fucking video they played going into the match with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it was BT Sports. They recorded that years ago.
It was the same.
Is that what it was? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You know why? Because we're in the same fucking position all over again. We got a part-time champion. We got a hungry contender coming in, looking to take a title and actually bring it to a show weekly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna win, but I fucking want Drew to win.
Oh Jesus, Devin, don't hurt him.
Where's Devin?
He didn't mean it.
The new Brock can go home and sit on the couch without 2 belts.
What was that?
Okay.
Drew can come to Raw on Monday.
Don't hurt
What you
him.
say? What you rating on that?
He disrespected our
Keep
champion.
getting your hate energy.
Hold on. I
Makes
need
us
a
stronger.
beer. I need a beer for this.
Give me more.
I said what I said. Drew 2 belts.
You said a new Brock, but this Brock even never did this on this level. So what are we talking about? This is a tribal chief head of the
Everybody
table.
sits on the couch.
He set it a new benchmark now. So you could have said that maybe a year and a half ago, and you might would have had a point about new Brock. Okay, yeah, but now we're past that point, bro. This is head of the chief, tribal chief level right here. We the ones.
Yes.
Part-time head of the table.
Damn right, he earned it, man.
When he wants
Year and a half putting in all that work. Dude, seriously? Thunderdome? Fire matches?
4 months showing up when he wants.
Hey, he earned it, bro. He's still putting in work. Still getting us awesome storytelling.
From the couch.
It's a fact.
Still healthy.
Injury
free.
Hey, I'll play it for you.
Acknowledge me.
No.
He's like, no.
Every time.
I want you to say it to him in person, Don. I want you to say it to him in person.
I said I will acknowledge Devin as the tribal chief of podcasting. That
No. I want you to go up to Roman Reigns and just say, no, I will not acknowledge you. I want you to say
even when Devin's sitting at home and he ain't podcasting, he's putting in work. You see all them goddamn clips? He puts out 3 a day. That man is working.
De Niro.
I know he's working, so I will acknowledge that man.
But Dom, you still acknowledge the tribal chief when you refuse to. You still acknowledge him.
Yes, he does.
That's the point. Because people didn't acknowledge him before. He was putting in that work. I didn't. I'm paying for it now.
He's not saying love me. He's saying acknowledge me. Love or hate.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, you're still acknowledging him.
No, either. I'm impartial.
Fair point.
I don't love him. I don't hate him. I'm just like, not a fuck.
That would be funny if he came
Not a
out.
fuck.
Love me.
People acknowledge me.
Love me.
Zero
Oh my
fuck.
God.
That's some
Imagine
Gene
this for
Snitsky
that.
shit right there. Love me.
Right?
No, that was Cody and
We do not
AEW.
need
Love
that.
me. Love me.
Facts.
We do not need a wrestler mid-ring going, love me.
Please.
Somewhere Vince is sitting in there watching our stream tonight going, this is such good shit.
Hold on.
Oh, you said the magic word.
Come on,
Here we
man.
go.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Such good shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love
We
it.
might even have him come back in Cardiff. You don't know.
Oh, please no.
No,
But I'm
no.
excited for this card, man. It's going to be banging.
Yeah,
The crowd is going to
buddy.
be chanting some crazy chants, so the energy is going to be there.
Yeah.
It's going to be just on a crazy high, mega high for everybody, man.
Mega
SUK
high.
crowd.
Hopefully,
Over top.
I'll be curious if the card is going to remain 5. I think, given the track history of WWE now, like they're getting shorter and shorter pay per view. SummerSlam was only 3.5 hours,
Yeah.
and that was one of their big 4.
That's what I'm saying.
I love it.
It's not
Give me
that
2
outside the box for me to think, all right, 5, it seems cool. He did that for TakeOver. Some people just couldn't make the card, but he kept it within 5, maybe 6, but never more, though. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what
Always that.
Every match got time and
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the
SummerSlam
beautiful
had
part
an
about
8.
it.
Yeah, not 8 with flips.
That's some trip shit.
No, I mean, fucking them, and I was until De Niro, but you spoke, so go ahead and preach it. Preach the word. What are your thoughts
Oh, I
on this
got
card?
skipped.
Roman Waynes.
Oh, you talking?
Yeah, my tribal one. Go ahead.
Oh,
Kill
man,
the
just
woman, kill the woman.
Tribal Chief. What he's doing right now is he's on God level. The way he's treating Drew McIntyre like his bitch, love it. Putting that chair on his neck, sitting down, just God mega pose, loved it. With Sami Zayn in the back, saluting with the ones. Come on, man. Cherry on the top right there, bro.
Yes,
I
sir.
love this. What's gonna suck though? Because what's gonna suck? We already know this is coming. Sammy's gonna get his. He's gonna get got. We see this powers of manipulation from the tribal chief himself, making Sammy feel comfortable. Is gonna backfire. And I'm feeling Sami Zayn, but Tribal Chief, I gotta roll my Tribal Chief. If he wants to make that executive decision, I gotta roll. It's gonna suck, but hey, that's what he gotta do. He gotta talk on my heart. Cool, whatever, man.
You know what it's gonna be?
Yeah,
You know what it's gonna be?
Jay Uso has been looking at that man like he stole his fucking lunch money.
Exactly. It's the right hand man. He's not playing.
He was mean mugging Sammy in a crop top on Friday. No lie.
Make sure you level up, Oofs, because you lost the last time.
You know what I can see happening? It'll be Sammy thinks his position is safe, and then all of a sudden you see Solo Sikoa come out, whip his ass, and take his spot.
Oh my God! Oh, that's right.
Likely, I can see
you're
that.
right.
I can see that.
I love that.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I just
that too.
I just can't see Drew beating
No.
Roman. I just
No,
can't.
I
And I don't think I think me and Devin finally agree here. I think we know who that opponent is. I mean, he lost 3 times to Cody. I think that's enough to tell you, like, it's his time.
That's what he be eating them L's for, man, Seth. That's the only guy I see that's destined to take the throne from. Because Tribal Chief, he wants somebody to take it. Who's going to take it? Seth freaking Rollins, man. He got his number. I can admit that. That hurts.
Seth's been eating L's like he's had the munchies for a year and a half. No lie.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person I remember him beating in the last few years is Roman Reigns.
I swear, I love those fucking. I just love those backstage with Sammy and Roman, especially the one where, man, that IC title would look good in the bloodline. Like, I just love how he looks.
Yeah.
So fucking hilarious. That's just see.
It's like Angle-esque, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's perfect. And then just Sammy, like, yeah. Look at right. What are you doing here? Like, get ready for it. Like, I love that. I can't wait to see that when they turn it back on Sammy. That poor Sammy. Oh, man. I like that idea from Dom though. Bring the younger brother from the Usos. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
To replace Sammy.
He's ready to come up. He's been ready to come
up.
up.
Hell yeah,
he's ready.
He's well done.
Just put some boots on, please.
He's been ready.
That's probably the only thing he's missing, boots, and then that's it. But other than that, like the guy got he got some physique. He has a charisma. He has.
Yeah.
I think he's ready to come to the.
He can talk too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get that too.
100%.
Got the mouthpiece.
Oh yeah. All right, De Niro, my apologies. Go ahead.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm definitely looking forward to this just because of the way Raw and SmackDown been the last couple weeks. It's been so exciting to see, so I'm expecting the pay-per-view to be just on par with that. Everything that Triple H is doing right now, I'm really happy with, so I think that this is going to be a great show. I definitely think Roman Reigns is winning, though. I'm a big fan of what he's doing right now. I want to see him hit 1,000. Like, I definitely want to see him hit 1,000 because that's going to be... Even if it's like a clean 1,000, then he loses.
You want me to catch Nick Aldis? I see.
I mean, shit. Let's catch.
That's true. Forgot about Nick Aldis. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Acknowledge that motherfucker.
Yeah, he took a pay cut.
He took a.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. I definitely think that it's going to be a great card, and I'm really happy to see Cardiff get a show like this. Like, the UK hasn't had a pay-per-view stadium show in how many years? Probably, what was it? SummerSlam 92, right?
92.
So, yeah, it's been 30
and that
years.
crowd was lit.
Oh my
hell yeah. The UK crowd always is, though. The UK crowd
even
is
for
always,
the takeovers.
Yeah, for sure.
It's coming up creative chance.
It's going to be great because you're
Got all
going to have a
them
great card.
Soccer hooligans in the crowd, man. It's a different
They're going to be
vibe.
singing and shit. Yeah.
What's that Bailey chant?
Oh,
How does
yeah,
it go?
I forgot.
How does it go?
I want to know.
They're probably going to bring that shit back.
Or
That's what I'm
you
looking
take your
for.
one shoe off.
I'm looking forward to that the most, though. Yeah.
The grizzled young veterans or the talent that used to be the grizzled young veterans.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to that because you're going to have a great card, but the atmosphere is going to be amazing as well, too. So,
yeah,
I'm definitely hyped for this.
Oh, man. Big Dan, I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm very hyped for this. I feel like the guy that's going to wind up down in the Tribal Chief is going to be, tick-tock. I think it's going to be Cross. I think it's going to be like a couple-month build. You don't bring a guy like that in.
There are a few of us.
Hopes on him, and Triple H is very high on him. He's going to play a big part in that main event. I feel like he's going to cost Drew the title. And then I feel like those two are going to go into a feud while Roman Reigns takes a couple months off because now he's signed a new deal where he's going to be part-time Roman now. And he's going to wind up coming back and lose the Cross, I feel like, at Survivor Series. But I feel like with him going part-time, the big thing is the emphasis on the IC title now. They're trying to bring back the prestige of it.
Yeah.
Like, for 2 years, you've never had it defended on a pay-per-view. And now you put it on the perfect guy, Gunther, Germany. Like, he's bringing that back. And you have him wrestle another international guy in Sheamus from Ireland. I think that's the perfect spot
it's a
to
big
do
test.
that matchup.
It's an intercontinental war.
Yeah,
it is.
I love that.
Also,
I feel like
It's the only belt that Sheamus has never won in WWE.
Yeah.
If he pulls this off Walter, he's a Grand Slam champ.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. That's what he wanted to be Grand Slam
I didn't even think of that,
champion.
yeah.
You're absolutely-
Yeah, he put a tweet out there too, Sheamus.
I don't think he.
I didn't see that.
What did he say?
No, he
Banger
said he got one to
after
go.
banger after banger after banger.
Oh, I did see that. Okay, that was
This is gonna be strong style too. You know
Yeah.
that.
I wouldn't doubt.
I think he
Fuck
holds his
strong
eyes.
style. It's gonna be violent style.
Yeah, it's gonna
Violent, bro. Just
It's gonna be an actual fight. Get
Yes.
him.
Beat the shit out of each other.
It's a little old
Sheamus gonna
school
look like
when
a bloody snowball after some of them chops. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm looking forward to.
yeah, it's
seeing
the
that.
right amount of paleness
Yeah.
for Gunther.
Man, his chest is gonna be
Just
matching
line
his
up.
hair.
Yeah.
Oh,
My man's gonna be a cherry snow cone. My man's gonna be a cherry snow cone.
yep.
Oh man.
But when you go back to old school, you feel like when the world champion's not there, the next guy up is IC champion. He's always the guy there to carry the load when the main guy's there. And I feel like that's what's gonna be. And Gunther's the perfect guy to do it. Like he lost all that weight for a reason because he wants to be a legitimate guy for the company. Not only that, but his right hand guy Ludwig did the same thing. He
Yeah, he
lost a
got
lot
cut.
of weight.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be the perfect guy to hold that title for over a year, to bring the prestige back, to bring the elevate the title. This is the perfect example of him elevating the championship, not the championship elevating him.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's going to do that.
He's gonna do
to
that
the highest
against
level.
Sheamus.
Who's
And I
taking a
feel like-
shower?
I'm not taking a shower. Who's taking a shower? Not me.
Someone take
Yeah, I
a
heard it
shot.
in the background. I was like, no.
Baby, you in the shower? No.
Not me. I don't hear it. It sounds like a shower, but it ain't me though.
Yeah.
Nah.
So
Nobody's
I
even
like
home.
that. I feel like Drew's going to lose. I feel like Reigns is going to win because of Cross. I'm not too keen on that 3-on-3 women's match. I feel like they could have did the finals of the tag team tournament at the pay-per-view instead of on Raw or SmackDown. But I know they're doing the build from SummerSlam, so they're doing that, so it kind of takes away from it. But it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that they're finally giving Shayna Baszler a chance. I feel like this is what Ronda Rousey should have been. I said all along, why bring Ronda Rousey in when you have her already here and Shayna Baszler? And wow, that shit's getting really loud right now.
Who's taking a shower? It ain't me though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's
I heard them ringing out or something.
I got
And then-
Scarlett getting all cleaned up for me for after the show. TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I was getting excited for
In your
Riddle and
dreams.
Seth, but if they're having Riddle and
How'd
Seth
you know?
Raw, it's puzzle to me why they're doing it twice.
Yeah.
Like I was excited for that at the pay-per-view because they've been hyping this up for over a month and a half. That's why they didn't do it at SummerSlam, because Triple H wanted to give it more time to like simmer, play off the injury, have him come back. You actually see a more serious side of Riddle than just the goofy side. But now you're just going to do it just to have the match 6 days before the pay-per-view. I don't get that. I think it takes away from the match at Clash. It's still going to be a good match, but I think for me it takes away from it a little bit. But overall, as a pay-per-view, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
for
me
sure.
too. I'm
Agreed.
excited. I'm excited for for Papa H and what he's doing, everything overall, how he's implementing stories, and how, especially with the Dexter Easter, that's fantastic. And bringing Gargano back, I'm looking forward to how is that going to be, for him on the main roster run. Everything overall right now, I would say by the end of this year, we'll be back, all of us, to critique of how that quarterly will look with Triple H, him taking over as fucking as head creative. That's for sure. And no,
See
I
how
don't
it looks
see-
a couple months down the line.
Oh yeah. I don't see Roman losing anytime soon at all. I don't see it at all happening. Roman's not losing at all. I don't know.
Oh God.
I know you said it's Seth. I don't think it's gonna be Seth. I think I got a feeling it might be Cody.
I was going to say
might
the
be
same
Cody.
thing. I could see Cody winning the Royal Rumble and then going against Roman at WrestleMania.
It's off.
Yeah. No. I see Cody winning the Royal. I see Cody winning the Rumble, go to Mania, and challenging Roman. I don't
I'll be
know
honest.
if the Rock situation is going to happen or not. They don't know yet. It's
I don't think it's
in the works. Well, it's Hollywood. He's here in LA. It has to happen. Roman and Rock. It just has to be with the belt.
But see, that's a Vince McMahon style matchup, where Triple H is more of build somebody on your roster to get that main spot. Because if you're giving the main spot at WrestleMania to a guy who is going to come in for one match, then what does that tell your roster? That you work hard all year looking to get that main event spot at WrestleMania, but we're just going to give it to The Rock, which was typical Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a big money matchup, but I just feel like you could build something bigger for WrestleMania with your own roster.
But that also tells them that, listen, you can go ahead and thank him for the house, because he's gonna sell that shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And listen, I would agree with you if the internet wrestling community and the wrestling community as a whole hadn't been clamoring for this for 2 years. Yeah. They're clamoring for it. So at what point do you say, yes, I understand that I have all these guys that have worked their way up the card. I agree with you. I hate it when the part-timers come back and take all the spots on the card. But if you're going to do it for one guy, you're going to do it for The Rock, because this has been talked about for 2 damn years.
It's true. Yeah. It's been
and The Rock will pull on a better matchup than someone like Goldberg or something, you know?
Please, thank God.
Don't let Key hear you say that.
Sorry, Kevin.
No. Look, I'm gonna talk to Key, man. Too much Goldberg shit. It's too much. No.
But I'm dying to be a fly on the wall for when Cody returns to WWE and there's Triple H. I want to see that
with the Stardust costume.
So damn bad. I don't know if it's gonna go that way. I don't know if Trips is just gonna work with them and continue what happened. But
no, I mean,
I want to see it so bad. Hey, Cody, I heard you've been talking shit for like 2-3 years.
No, but you know what I feel?
Smash any thrones lately?
Want to break my throne, huh?
Oh, you want to break my throne, huh, motherfucker?
You're in a dark match tonight.
Oh my God, I already get put.
Oh, you motherfuckers! You think you can do this to me?
Oh no! I feel what Triple H will take advantage of that, and you know what? I think Triple H, what he'll do is book Cody to a high level to prove a point. Con like here, what I'm doing with your guy, and I'm booking him very well. That's why I say why Cody will be the one taking it off from Roman, but because to prove a point to Tony Khan, like look. You could have made him a champion, but look, I made him a champion. Look what I'm doing with your former AEW.
I did what you couldn't do.
Yeah,
no, that's Vince. That's petty right there.
Yeah,
Triple
but also
H is not petty. He's a student of the game. He like to tell stories. He'll set the. He's not gonna have Cody. He's gonna have Seth do it.
I mean, Ivan's making a good point. So Seth beats.
It would be a good story though. I mean, Cody already started the story.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab this belt. I'm going to bring it to my father.
Yeah.
That's a good story. I cried at that goddamn story.
Yeah.
Or unless you have Seth beat Roman and then Seth losing it to Cody. That could be the
but he can't lose
that
4
could be
times.
That too.
He can't. So that's the issue right there.
Sure he can.
Yeah.
No.
Like I said, he's been eating L's like he's got the munchies for a year and a half. So what's another
not
one?
with the title.
Yeah, not with that title.
Yeah, I don't know.
Once you take it off the tribal chief, you're the man now.
But I think it has to be Cody versus Roman, because if you remember when Cody was not in WWE, he was calling out Roman. And there was a little bit of a beef back and forth, so I think it has to be Cody and Roman.
And that's where the issue lies.
And listen, and throughout wrestling history, there have always been pairs of guys where one guy has had the other guy's number. That's
Raven,
not a
Tommy
new
Dreamer.
thing. You know, that's not a new thing.
It isn't.
So if Cody, if Cody were to beat Rollins for the championship, it could just be this guy just has had my number. And then guess what? The receipt for that is Rollins finally getting over that hump down the line. You know what I mean? Yeah. For 3 years, I've done nothing but lose to this guy. And then he finally gets the payoff. That reinvigorates a Rollins if he gets stale. That's a go-to storyline to reinvigorate.
It could be as simple as like, well, Seth has Roman's number, Cody has Seth's number.
Yeah.
Here's the way everything plays.
Yeah, but logically, it makes more sense if Cody beats Roman. I see where you're coming from, Ivan.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
I mean, that's how I see it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it makes a valid point. I get you, Devin, what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing there. The only thing why I say that because it's more like in the entertainment aspect of it. I look like pretty much throwing it to the AEW. Look what I'm Tony Khan. Pretty much. Look, this is what I'm doing. I mean, I don't know if that was Vince's plans when he brought him back. I don't know if that was the plan.
He gave Cody a countdown on Raw saying he's going to come down in like 20 minutes. Yep. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Like he was
countdown to Cody.
That was huge. Yeah.
After he opened the show, countdown to Cody.
Right.
But also think about like they throw also Backlash. I mean, we just heard Moxley off the air. He said, "Oh yeah, come back, be a pro wrestling fan. You know, we're here for you guys. In case you guys don't like that Monday night or Friday night bullshit, come see us on Wednesdays or Fridays on Rampage." See, that's the entertainment aspect of it, of the backlash they throw each other. That's why I feel Cody being the one, beating Roman for the belt will make sense in that aspect because they'll be like, all right, here. That's how I see it. But I'm with you with Seth. I don't mind Seth either. I think Seth is the one that should have been right now. To be honest with you, I think Seth should be the one defeating Roman. But I think it should be a triple threat to protect Roman, not to him get pinned. And then Roman would be like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't get pinned.
But I gotta go with the strongest story, man. The history and it's so much richer with Seth and Roman,
the whole
man.
Shield situation.
Yeah.
But
I heard Cross isn't even going to make it. He's not going. That's what
he's not going. He's not going to the event.
Yeah.
No, not to Clash of the Cat. He's going to be.
No, he's not.
He's going to have his first match on SmackDown Friday.
Yeah, next week. Yeah. So I mean, because he still has commitments for the Indies. So he's finishing with that, the meet and greets, and then he's going to just begin already now working full time. So I mean, that's what's going to happen with Cross right now.
Yeah.
He's going to have a parking lot brawl with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. Woo.
Well, we just got to wait to see how, I'm excited for both brands, overall professional wrestling, man. I'm really happy that I'm happy that we're here again and talking about it, what we love is professional wrestling, what keeps us, entertained and what we love to see, and especially Reading Ones, especially right there, because
yes, sir.
Man, that's right.
Roman Weems, baby.
Roman. Now, we're going to do this live. Why? Because most of the...
rap battle?
No.
Hey, yo.
Listen,
listen. We're all here, most of the League of Extraordinary Podcasts. Now, since I got, especially the head of the table, right there, we the ones. I'm looking at you, Devin. I acknowledge you. We have Dan here. We're doing this live.
What are we doing?
Should he be in the league or not? I say yes. I vote yes.
This guy right here?
This guy right here.
That motherfucker
right
here?
This guy?
That guy?
That's my New Japan homie.
Yes.
Sure. He got my yes.
Yeah. Bagley's cool. He's cool.
You know I love Dan.
Don't put a Sammy on him, Devin. Don't do that.
No, man. Yeah, he's good people, man. Yeah, he definitely got my vote. Definitely got
that UFC title looked good in the league.
Yes.
Ted?
Yeah, for sure. My man brought some great stuff tonight. I appreciate you.
Nick?
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Hit him with the Randy Jackson.
Damn.
No, whatever.
Thanks for playing.
Well, it's not unanimous, so.
Yeah, just acknowledge Roman Reigns. Sorry.
There you go.
Woman Reigns. Well, there you go. You are now officially a League of Extraordinary Podcast.
It is decided.
There you go.
Right.
It is decided.
Took us 2 hours.
There
we go.
They love me. They really, really love me.
One of the rules is sleeves. It's necessary.
I'm
Cover up them traps, buddy.
That's why I lasted.
You gotta bring coffee and donuts. That's the rule.
Was this the Yankees? You can't have like a mustache anymore.
Now, one thing you have to do, you have to say that you acknowledge the Tribal Chief podcasting.
Jesus. Don't do
You
it.
have to acknowledge Devin, right? You have
That's
to acknowledge the
thing?
Tribal Chief.
I acknowledge you, Devin.
There you go. There you go.
There
you go.
it is.
Some
I'm
ones
done.
up.
I just didn't know it was a
Appreciate
thing.
that.
I acknowledge
Always
you,
not
baby.
acknowledge that one.
I've been doing the opposite for 2 years.
Oh my god. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours and 15 minutes of fantastic pro wrestling talk here was all mi familia right here, and welcoming Dan on live on YouTube to the League of Extraordinary podcast.
Great moment.
Welcome to the family, my brother. And you've been a family to me because, you know what, De Niro and I and yourself always doing New Japan shows every Tuesdays, which that's permanent now we're doing. So, I mean, that's, I love you to the fact of who you are and everything what you bring to the table, your podcast, MMA. It's amazing what you do, and I'm happy to have you on, part of the family. Just like everybody here, that they do fantastic work, you know, with Ted, you know, with Dom, Nick, Devin, and everybody else in the league. Everybody here brings phenomenal content for all of the pro wrestling fans and also now MMA fans as well, adding here, Dan, to our family here. And I appreciate you, Dan. I appreciate all my family here for taking the time, opportunity to take, you know, to us to be here together again. I cannot wait to do this one more time. I'm hoping we could do it in November for Survivor Series to see how that's going to come down. I'm really excited for that. And a lot more coming for the league, and I'm not going to say because I'm working on it. I will talk to them about that off there, but I want to cheers you guys for a great, fantastic evening.
Always,
I love you guys.
You're the man.
I love you guys.
Devious one.
You guys,
Good brother.
you guys,
All y'all.
We the ones, baby.
we the ones. That's
I'm glad
right.
Dan is
We-
here because I'm not
we
the only one
the
cheers with water.
Yeah.
We're
I
all
drank
the
earlier,
ones in the
so.
podcast. So round the table, very quick. Let's go ahead and let them know where can they catch all of you. Give the people what they want. Dirty Heels. I always gotta say that Dirty Heels, no matter
You
what.
got to.
I got to. That's their fucking motto.
I'll be
but
chilling with them tomorrow.
yes, that's right.
Oh, word?
House of
up?
Glory. House of Glory.
Nice.
De Niro will be there
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Nice.
And he'll be
Brother, bro.
vlogging. He'll be vlogging, so you'll see the COD
Yes, sir.
vlog right here for that. I'm looking forward to. That is right. So I'll take it to the DOM. Where
Boom.
can they find Top Rope Wrestling Talk?
Please give us an Instagram account.
Yes.
No, I'm done.
Give us the award-winning Instagram account.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you wait for that one though. You can find us at 2 places on Facebook. You can come to the Top Rope community group. Just search for Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Invite yourself. Get in on our chats, our forums, whatever the hell we're doing. You can also find us all our podcast-related content at the Rewind Wrestling Network page on Facebook now. So search for Rewind, like them. You'll see all the upcoming shows, all the teasers, everything we've got planned. All the news gets there first, so check that out too. You can find us on Twitter at TopRopeWT. You can also find us at, of course, the now two-time award-winning Instagram account for worst handle ever. And that is, God damn you, Bruce, at top_rope_wrestling_talk. What the fuck were you thinking, Bruce? But thank you, because it won 2 awards.
What?
And for content, it's going to be pretty simple next week. Just search for the Rewind Wrestling Network. You will find us there exclusively as of next Friday.
Awesome. I cannot wait. That's a great merch that's already coming. So make sure. Hell yeah. Mr. Ted Weston, let the people know where could they find Rewind Wrestling Network.
So, as Dom said, you can find Top Rope on our network starting this Friday exclusively there with us on across all the the listening platforms for podcast platforms and on our YouTube page. You can find us at WREWIND okay, at Rewind Podcast. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Unlike Bruce, we were smart enough to put all three things being the same thing. All right.
Yes.
You can also find us on SportsWire Radio each and every week. We are on the SportsWire Radio with the Reverend Tom Bryce. Thank you, Tom, for having us. And we are also on Roku TV on Northeast Sports. Thank you so much for having us there. So you can find us on all those platforms. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow us across all social media.
Awesome. Nick, let the people know where
Yes, sir. You can find us on Twitter at the UW Pod and Instagram at UW Podcast. Big guest on the show next week, Ken Shamrock. I'm going to break the news. Fuck it. He's going to be on the program with Tim King from the Wrestle Index. He's going to join me. And then next week, big announcement, new co-host is coming on. So it's going to be a lot going on here at the UW Pod. So Ivan, all you boys, thank you. It was a lot of fun. We got to do this more often.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
There we go. Fuck him, though.
Damn, Blue. Tell him, Blue.
Yes, my dude. I love it. What is it, Mr. Deeds? Big Daddy? I forget.
Big Daddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
Dan, let the people know.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CageIQ. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube at CageMyIQ. I just dropped the interview with Aaron Jeffrey of Bellator. He's the guy that knocked out Paige Van Zandt's husband a couple weeks ago. It was nice to see him get knocked out.
Yes.
Took his spot and did it within a minute. I also got an interview coming out with Bubba Jenkins. He made the finals of PFL featherweight tournament, which is going to take place in November. I got that coming out. I'm actually working on an interview with Tamatanga. I'm trying to get him to drop the price down a little bit because he thinks it's very high, but I'm talking to him right now to get him dropped down. I also have one coming out with Thomas Lattimore. He finally got back to me since getting married and then having NWA tonight. I'm hoping to get that recorded next week. Sweet. And, of course, I got a busy week next week with now that I'm doing wrestling content. I'm looking to have Nick do a bunch of it with me. We got, of course, UFC Paris at the same time at Clash at the Castle. So I got to watch both of them. So I'm going to do some previews for both of those. And then I'm looking to do one for, of course, Worlds Collide. Big fan of NXT and NXT UK. So I'm going to put one out with that as well.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Cool.
Love it. Love it.
Tranquilo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tranquilo. All
Peace.
right.
My guy.
That's right. My guy. Yeah, that's our guy right there. That's right.
Thanks.
My tribal one.
There we go.
Yes. Let the people know where
Too kind,
can they find me.
Yes, all the time. But first, gentlemen, Ivan, thank you all. Enjoyed the conversation. Enjoyed the topics. Ivan, thanks again for the hospitality, hosting. We got to do this more. We definitely got to do this more. I had a hell of a lot of fun with you guys, man, with y'all brothers, man. So hell yeah. But you can catch the audio platform, the video platform, all of our social medias, ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation, and of course our merch like this lovely shirt. And of course it's summertime, heading in fall, but get your ass off that hot ass sand and get your Clark Street Wrestling beach towels. All right, it's not a good look. All right. Don't get the sand on your ass. Don't do it. Do not do it. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for yo. It is decided.
Love it.
I love it. Every time when you say that, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Don't get that ass toasty.
Hey, I'm gonna get you that. Hey, next time we come on, I'm gonna get that one for you. I'm gonna get you that. I'm gonna get you that clip just for you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, De Niro, let the people know where they can find us, man.
Right here, Circle of Debate YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Wrestling DeLorean podcast. Instagram is Wrestling DeLorean Pod. Twitter is W_DeLorean Pod. So Dom, I got some underscores in there too. And I always say,
It's me, man.
my rap group, we're Lords_of_Gotham. So I had a group member put a lot of underscores in the Instagram too. We just didn't win awards for it. But anyway,
So they were high when they did the Instagram, is what you're saying?
yeah, pretty much.
Brucey.
Yeah, so every we got
comments.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Wrestling DeLorean podcast on the Circle of Debate YouTube channel, and then Circle of Debate every Tuesday got the New Japan show, Wednesday the MMA show, the flagship show on Thursday, and Top 5 on Friday. So there's a whole lot of content on this channel. So hit that subscribe button. And thank you everybody for joining. We had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
this,
you guys
man.
for having us.
Yeah, thank
Man,
you.
we're family. Remind you one thing: we're all family here, man.
Oh yeah.
I always say it. I always say it on the chat. I always say it. We're family. I appreciate what you guys do for all of us fans, not just me being a podcaster, but as a fan. I love everything what you guys do, and it gets me going. You guys are my inspiration, my admiration. To do
Yeah.
great. So trust me, like pretty soon. I hope one day we can do this in person. Hopefully, all of us one day.
Come to Jersey.
New York.
Okay.
Oh, Jersey, New York, Chicago,
Philly.
Philly.
Come to Philly.
That's all me
WrestleMania is here, baby. WrestleMania is here.
WrestleMania 40.
I'll probably, you know what? I'll probably go there for 40 for Philly.
You better.
Damn.
The link is beautiful. I'll tell you that right now.
Say that with his chest.
No, he said it with
Aggression.
Yeah, he said it was.
Well, don't you want to see Reigns continue the amazing stretch he's on? Come on.
If he holds it to WrestleMania 40, it's gonna be like 1,050 days.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Woman Waynes.
Woman.
There you go.
That's how we end it.
That's how we ended. And you know, we ended with here at the League of Extraordinary Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We don't just all do podcasts.
There we go.
No, we make
History.
history.
Will
Over and over.
make
Over and over.
history.
Over and over and over and over.